BritizenCon 2017 was incredible. Twice as many people attended than 2016. We had twice as many dev panels as 2016, one on design and one on technology, including the legendary Brian Chambers, fantastic prizes in our Arena Commander competition, and much more. But BritizenCon 2018 is going to be even bigger. With more competitions, more competitors, and more prizes. More exhibitors showing off everything from fan-made costumes to the latest peripherals and hardware. A better livestream and a bigger Bar Citizen. With dev panels galore and arcade machines to play. Immerse yourself in Star Citizen for a day. Come to BritizenCon 2018 on Saturday the 21st of April 2018 at the Radisson Blu, Manchester Airport. Follow the links to the BritizenCon website below and reserve your place with tiered and standard tickets available now. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to meet your fellow citizens and the devs making our dreams come true. BritizenCon 2018.
He knows.
Hello, everyone.
There he is. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Oh my God. Welcome, everyone, to the Addicted Podcast. This is my first ever stream using XSplit and Zoom, so things will be running a little bit slower than they normally do. I haven't had a chance to do a sound check or anything, so if people notice anyone's very quiet or too loud, let me know. Or if you hear shit in the background too much or anything, just let me know on the sound side.
You're what in the background?
Pro streamer right now.
There is this annoying noise going on at the moment.
Yeah, that's me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to swear because I've been told that if we swear on this show...
Oh, fuck that shit.
We will not be monetized on YouTube.
So no fucking... And chat,
So
don't
no
fucking
fucking
swear,
swearing.
okay? No fucking swearing at all
No one
tonight.
is allowed to swear. It's all about the money. So if any of you fucking
It's all
swear
about the money.
once in the show...
There's a little swear jar in the corner if you
I will
fucking
be
swear.
charging. I'll be charging you all. Basically, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to be
I don't
sweating
think we
it,
got a lot
boys.
of money for those 40 views on YouTube, do we?
This I'm drinking this tonight to try and keep myself going because, like I said, I have to learn how to transition between all sorts of crazy shit right now so that we can see things. So you're gonna have to bear
What
with
is
me.
that?
This is Thai Red Bull.
Thai Red Bull.
It's Thailand
It
because
changes
you
your
know
genitals.
that it changes your genitals. Yeah, it makes you a woman. Honestly, this is going to make something happen. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's the original recipe. The guy who did there was I think it was an American or a British guy and a Thai guy basically created Red Bull, and this is the original recipe for it, which is they still sell it in Thailand versus the American and the European, the one that we have, which is actually slightly different.
So this is Source. You got it at Morrison's, as you can see, and it's like 25p.
I also have some of that as well, but that's for later. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. We have a special, as you saw from the introduction. We are going to be talking about BritizenCon. We have Chris, whose name has somehow vanished from my wonderful thing.
As long as he hasn't.
Well,
I think what he's saying is, yeah.
I'm still here.
Right.
We are doing this is episode 42, everybody, as well. So this is the magic number.
42!
Yes.
42! It's not coming out this year either. So, boo. Anyway, so Addicted Podcast at 42, a BritizenCon special. We are going to be doing the first half. It's going to be talking a little bit about BritizenCon, what's coming up and everything else. And then we will go on to the Star Citizen news and some CitizenCon hype as well, because I know there's a lot going on at the moment with events and things like that. So we will be doing that. Do you want me to just go around the table while you set things up?
You go around the table whilst I get Chris's name on this board because I don't.
We got
know.
Hurricane Oklahoma coming in.
So,
Oklahoma.
Mac, do you want to tell us what you've been up to this week?
Me? Sorry, was that me?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
You're here. You might as well speak.
I have been streaming. I have not actually made any videos. I keep saying I've been working on one video for the past week and realised at the end of the week I still haven't got it out yet. And it's
when you
monthly report.
When you say streaming, though, you mean standing in front of somebody else's video footage that somebody else recorded?
Yes,
somebody else recorded talking. You wouldn't catch us doing that right now. That's what I'm going to say.
I just say, you're a bit of a trendsetter. I see a lot more of these streamers that turn into lazy in front of video speakers and that talk shit.
I'm sick of playing Stars.
You are the master in talking shit, though. You know nobody can copy that. But...
I need a badge. In all fairness, shit talker.
Shit talker.
The bullshit badge. You need the bullshit badge. That's what you need.
No, it's true. But yeah, I'm sick of playing 2.6. I can't do it. I don't fancy playing any of the game because my hype is too involved in Star Citizen. So I just want to talk to people and play some footage. Plus, everyone jumps in because
isn't it better to go into town, Ryan, and talk to people, or is that different?
They're all crack addicts in town. I don't want to talk to them.
Oh, is that? I thought you went for a beer with Mighty, yeah?
Oh, I did, but that was in a different town. That was in my hometown. No, I left town to go for a beer with Mighty Wrath. But yeah, I've been streaming, I guess. All right, madness. Fucking hell, that's.
It's called talk show.
He's totally triggered right now. He's totally triggered.
You just wait till after. But it's
can I ask, Ryan? Do you do that under talk shows, or do you do that under Star Citizen?
Under Star Citizen. Damn right.
Okay, I think we need to report you to Twitch for that one.
Him and the rest.
You can't really say that when we're already hosting on Star Citizen doing a talk show.
Doing a talk show.
Let's not go there on that one.
So so
we are throwing stones.
Under talk show, is it? Nice one, Sol.
It's not my channel, is it?
Not today. I'll be checking though when you are hosting it. But yeah, also with this whole hype about CitizenCon doing the beard shave off, we've been talking about that. So I may have to shave my beard off for charity. So be aware of that. We've also been talking with Chris, trying to get organised with BritizenCon, which me and Miz are definitely super hyped for that, and we can't wait.
We are.
But we'll talk obviously more about that later on. But it's been quite a busy week. Not anything in particular, just lots of little things I need to sort of be there for and sort out. Yeah, and then you need to go to the toilet now and again, and wash. So that kind of cuts in. But let's move on to the next guy.
Sol, do you want to tell us what you've been up to?
I've been fucking working all week and playing some NBA next to that. It has given me some sort of a mark that's left, as you guys can see. But for the rest of it, no, I'm too busy, man, to even get to the streaming at the moment. When it's all settled down a bit, it will be better. But for now, it's hard work.
It is. Life's hard work, yeah.
Yeah, life sometimes it does that to you. And this week we do have our special Chris. Special Chris. We also have our special guest named Chris as well.
Yes.
So obviously you're not a streamer, but you have been organising things. So do you want to just let us know what you've been up to? Tell us how stressful it is, even maybe.
It's very, very stressful. I was clean shaven only last week.
And so when did you start organising for BritizenCon?
For next year's, we started the moment this year's stopped. And in fact, some of us started whilst this year's was carrying on.
It's a lot of work.
It is. It takes up the bulk of my free time. So.
Wow.
But this week I've been mostly working on the video that you guys have just seen.
Woohoo! Yeah, which we will show again. We'll show again in a little while.
And it's and also highlight that it's not the final copy, is it? You said to me you're gonna polish it a little bit.
Yeah, I did my best to try and get a version that looked awesome. But I am now going to work on a version that looks even awesomer.
Nice.
Awesomer.
And we will be showing that on our streams and everything else. So that'd be cool.
Matt, can I just say that I would donate £50 for you to basically wax the beard off?
I'm not waxing the beard. That is not happening. That has come up before, and it's not going to happen.
That is a good idea. Maybe we just make him wax his legs instead.
Just wax the tash. Just wax the top.
I will just
the lips.
have
Just
a
wax the
red
lips only.
I'll have a bald red section where my beard should be, and I'd look like a crazy person that eats, I'll just say strawberries, because I don't want to go anywhere else with that whole joke.
Yeah.
I knew somebody at university who had very impressive sideburns, and he waxed those for charity on stage in front of a whole bunch of drunk people.
Oh my
It was hilarious and probably very painful.
Do it, Mac. Do it.
Do it, Mac.
Let's
Go
not
on.
talk about it anymore. Let's not go into that.
Well, we need to just
for the kids.
ask again at the end of the podcast because he gets drunk.
Yes.
So it'll be fine.
For the kids.
He'll agree to it then.
Yeah, by the end of the
Listen,
podcast, yeah.
For the people in
well,
chat, you can now donate because we need a lot of wheat for this. A lot of wheat.
We're gonna have to buy a fucking shed load of. Sorry, you can't put it on YouTube anymore.
I think we need to get some tar, you know, that they put on the streets and just wax that and just pull it off that way.
Oh yeah.
Road tar.
No, just tweezers. That's all you
This
need.
has gone way
Just
too far now.
tweeze.
This is not Mac's torture chamber.
Just
Instead,
tweeze.
it's got
Let's not come up with the amount of ways you could possibly shave, or let's talk about BritizenCon, please.
Be done with it. So, Madness, are you ready?
Yeah,
You
well,
wanna
I've set up,
talk about
I've got the we got the thing ready.
Tell everybody your week then. Of how frustrating it's been.
Here we go.
My week has been craziness. I mean, as you know, people that have been watching my stream, I got back from Vietnam the middle of the week. I arrived when I landed. I arrived to obviously being very tired after 30, I think it was like a 19 hours in total or 20 hours in total trip to get home from Vietnam because I had to go via Hanoi and all the rest of it and waitovers. Anyway, I got home. I was tired, jet lagged. It was like early in the morning. I went to bed. I got woken up within an hour of going to bed by my neighbor, whom I use a new neighbor who's decided to completely renovate their house. So I had power drilling. I'm not joking, all day. Sol's only heard a smidgen today when I was setting up for today.
That dude, listen, if that dude lived next to me, I would have knocked him out with a bottle of vodka.
Nightmare neighbors from hell. Get a plane. You can earn some money on TV.
The thing is, you got to turn it on its head. You got to turn it on its head because he's a Polish builder and I need some work done. So I went over there and had a quick chat with him. I was like, dude, I'm knackered. Nice. I'm knackered. I'm shattered. You're waking me up. However, this is a golden opportunity because you owe me now because you've woken my ass up. So you owe me. I could do with the knocking in the wall in my bathroom, knocking it down. So you and I will talk.
With all due respect, we had a Polish builder once. I can tell you the taps were coming off the fucking wall after 2 months. But did you bring my ping pong balls?
Oh, did I bring the ping pong balls?
No. The used ones.
No, he was gonna.
No. I wasn't in Thailand, so I wasn't in Thailand. I was in Vietnam. It's a different place.
That's a Thailand thing.
It's a totally different. It's a totally different sport in Vietnam.
I thought you were gonna bring me these ping pong balls that they should,
No, it's a totally different sport. So,
Vietnam, they just have like fermented eggs. Or
let's keep it on topic. But I got back. I've been streaming. A couple of days. It's been really good. Lots of people because obviously there's hardly anyone streaming now, so I can just steal all of those viewers, which is amazing. Really loving that. Loving the fact that hardly anyone streams at the moment. It makes me actually look popular.
What you want to do is just play videos in the background.
Yeah, I realised that. I was thinking that. I think that's what I need to do. I was tempted. I should just put a video up and then just stand in front of it and not actually show that I can fly and play the game properly.
Put Forrest Gump in the background. Just
So Forrest Gump running.
I'm gonna stream one of Madness's streams and then just put me over the top of it. So it looks like I'm dogfighting. That's even better. It's like great idea. I'm killing everybody with this.
That is a great. I should actually, literally just take somebody else's work and effort and put it in the background, and then make it look like I did it.
On a serious note, though, there's a lot of people doing this at the moment.
Everyone's doing it. I think Asaurus was doing it earlier. I swear at one point there was Mac Board was doing Board's own videos. I think he was like, hang on a minute, somebody's using all my videos. Hang on a minute.
Listen,
Ryan, redacted. I'm waiting for detox
was
next.
The forum post on the forum post on the redacted forum.
It must be.
That you guys said.
We've all talked about it.
Little team meeting. But I've been. I've been busy streaming, been really great to be back and to stream. And then I've literally, me and Miz were up the other night till crazy
Oh, aye.
o'clock, trying to have a little bit of
Sort
friendly.
this out.
Fondle.
You know, we're both married for a while now. Things can get a bit tepid, tired. We both like Broken Back Mountain. Things could happen in Wales.
Broken Back Mountains.
Who knows?
It was after. It was after
was
last
late.
night.
We were late. We'd had a few. It was teary. That's all I'm saying. It was emotional.
Broken Back.
Look at me. Look at me. Look, I've gone full redneck. Literally, it happened. I've gone
They
full.
like a
I've gone hunting.
They tried to get me involved. I closed Discord down very quickly when calls coming in.
What are you talking about? You were busy with somebody else.
Yesterday evening.
Oh, thank you for the cheers. Thank you for the bits. So I just realised I haven't switched that sound off. Oh god. There's so many, and for all the people that follow, by the way, thank you so much. I do generally have to try and switch all the sounds and stuff off. I do try to be semi-professional so that we don't get interrupted.
But the
with
guys
the
nearly
champ
about
at the
the
beginning, which was quite
Please
funny. Thank
follow
you.
us till after the show.
Yeah, that was perfect timing. Everyone's like, but we need to watch this. Let's watch this.
BritizenCon, and then someone just
The champ.
The champ is here.
which actually does bring me to the thing. So, for anyone that doesn't know, we're talking about BritizenCon because I've been back. I've been really busy with work. I mean, we see the guys. Check out. We got the new layout. We've got XSplit. We've got Zoom. We're actually me at Miz, and we're actually investing into this podcast now. So Chris is talking about his investment for BritizenCon and all the rest of it. We're now doing that for you guys. We want to make this show as good for you as we possibly can. As possibly can.
I'm not investing anything. By the way.
Soul's doing fuck all, but the rest of us are investing money. And so we're trying basically to put it that way.
Soul's investing his love.
To do some stuff. So watch this space for. We're gonna have Halloween. We've got year special. We've got because it's gonna be a year in the next couple of weeks, in about 10 weeks or so. It's not that. It's be crazy
I'm
already.
doing all these fucking videos with these wrong fucking timestamps, like 13 minutes 41, and then it's on 17 minutes is the content. That
We don't air our dirty laundry on stream. Yeah, we know you do. I've seen it. Jesus Christ. Very holy. But yeah, no, I've been busy. It's been great, and we're investing. So if anyone wants to be a patron and things like that, we will potentially be doing that. So if people really do like the show and want to give us money, it will be going towards giveaways and actually funding the stream and stuff. So
sex toys.
We're very British with this type of thing. It's very funny because we are so British. We don't really like to ask for money. When as I go into other American channels, it's like, give me money. I want your money. But it's like in the British channels, it's like, no, I don't really kind of want to kind of.
Please don't
money.
give it.
Don't give us money. It's fine.
It's good that you say this,
fine.
man. I started
It's
watching a bit of
fine.
this.
We're in it for.
I started watching some of these NBA streams and with a lot of Americans,
Yeah.
And I was like, and they were constantly asking for follows and hosts. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'll follow when I want to follow,
I know,
But it
I
seems
know.
to be a very American thing,
Yeah,
I mean, to like ask for
Guys,
these things. Well, I think
guys,
we as
give them all the
Europeans,
money.
Give us the money. We
give
want
us
the money.
All the money.
Yeah. So no, but in all seriousness, it isn't cheap at the end of the day. Once we start adding things, we want to give away some prizes to people. We want to, we get guests on, and we want to try and promote stuff as much as we can and all this stuff. But eventually, if the ultimate game is for the shows to become very popular.
Mac needs beer to actually come
Mac
on the
needs
show.
beer. I mean, Mac ultimately clearly out of the five of us, the one that's probably going to be, or the 4 or 5, he's going to be a professional. Will probably be Sol, I reckon. I mean, sorry, will be probably Mac. Mac, are you going to be partnered soon? Have you put your name in for partnership?
I did, and I applied just before Detox did. No, just after Detox
after.
did, sorry.
So you're next.
And Detox is just... Congrats to Detox.
Yeah,
has
congratulations
just
to
been,
Detox
partnered.
for his event. Well done. Great
Yes.
dude. It's funny, his glasses broke as well. He's
Oh,
like, he
did
got
they?
partnered and his
Did
glasses
they?
broke.
They were so hyped for it. He cried on his stream and everything. Awesome.
Did he? Bless him.
That's
Yeah.
because his dad done it. His brother came
His
on.
brother, I think,
sort
said
of
his
talked about
dad
how his
was
dad's
proud
really
of
proud
him.
of him.
But he was, he's a top bloke. And,
Yeah, he's working his
yeah.
ass off,
long-time
hasn't
friend. And he comes to BritizenCon as well.
he? He
Yeah, he
does.
does.
I met him.
So if you want to meet a proper partner to this Twitch,
Yes, if you want to meet a proper partners,
a proper partner,
Yeah.
not us.
And when we're done, go onto his stream and persuade him to come.
persuade him, make
Oh,
him
he'll
come.
definitely come. He'll definitely
Right.
attend, should I say? Because people take it the wrong way if you say.
So, How would you like? Let's have a look at this because I'm just looking through the Britizen the show, the kind of the document and stuff. So we can talk to Chris. We've got Chris here. I think it would be a great opportunity for us to go over BritizenCon. Would you like me to? Would you like me to look at any footage whilst we're up here, or would you just like to just talk about it? Let's just talk about it. I think, shall we?
Well, I think the best thing to do is we put on the little questions is like to recap.
Yeah.
You know, what is BritizenCon? What how many years has it been going? That sort of thing. So, do you want us to ask the questions, or just go for it?
Yeah. How would you like to? We'll start with we'll ask questions then. So, Chris. So,
Yeah.
So let's have a recap then. So, what is BritizenCon, and what do you do?
Okay. So, BritizenCon is a UK fan-run convention for Star Citizen. Right, I got that out. Great. Good start.
And how long have you been doing it for now?
So we did one in 2016 in July last year, which was our first.
Yeah, fun.
So the second one was April this year.
Great, cool.
Also
Which we all went to, I believe. We all went to, didn't we? Yeah,
Everybody here went to.
We all went to it.
Oh, I went to the first one, and I think everybody here went to the second one as well.
Yeah, I was there.
Anyone in chat, if you were there, feel free to say in chat you were there as well. Say, yeah, I was there, or say, I wasn't there. It's fine. Carry on.
Or say what you like. You're not.
Yeah.
We don't determine what you say.
Say what you're told to say.
Say what I told you to say.
Yeah.
Give us your money.
Give us your money.
So, BritizenCon started out as an idea for. There was a lot of hype for a sort of whole UK meetup.
Yeah.
And so we were getting to the point where we were going to arrange this massive national meetup for all UK citizens, and then they announced that CitizenCon 2015, I think,
was
going to be in the UK.
Yes,
that was the UK one. I missed that one. Yeah.
And I missed that one.
So, and we'd originally planned that big meetup for the May that year, and the May came and gone, and nothing happened because nobody got themselves organised. And also because we knew at that point that CitizenCon was going to happen, so everybody went to that. And having got to CitizenCon, everybody went, we really need to do this every year. Because
cool.
They do something in the States every year, they do something in Germany every year.
Yeah.
We're one
Really
of
better.
the largest proportions of backers, so we should have one ourselves. And if CIG are not going to do theirs, then why don't we organise our own? And then it was just a case of, well, somebody needed to organise it. And I got fed up with everybody going, well, this
Someone
is a
needs
good
to.
idea, but I don't want to organise it. And then I just went, okay, I'll do it. So that's how it happened.
Nice.
Awesome. So you kind of got roped into it because no one else was.
No
doing
one
it.
else would do it, and you were like,
Yeah,
that sounds a bit like me and the
What a
Addicted Podcast,
shame.
really.
Yeah.
That sounds like most things. This is good.
Yeah, and I knew that with a good team, I had a reasonable chance of putting something together. So
who is the
that
team?
was the plan.
Who is the team then you've got then? How many people actually work on every event and between?
Well, the team is kind of variable. In that we've had, apart from me, a different team every year.
Okay. So you're the consistent thing.
Yeah. It's my event. If you like.
Sod them
Right,
not
events.
helping out.
Fuck them all.
Fuck them. They're not part of this.
It's all mine. I did it all. No, I know what you mean.
Cheap
Labor is
for
hard to
one.
find nowadays, man.
I, for one, am truly grateful that you have set this event up because,
Yeah.
like many, we were all wanting a UK event because we can't afford to
Yeah.
go everywhere else. So, no, honestly,
All our
I'm truly
money on
grateful
booze.
for it.
I would imagine there's like most places all over the world. Like, I mean, I always look at the Bar Citizens, for example, and I kind of go, well, I've looked at the French one, I've looked at the German ones, and they're always like massive and loads of people. And then I go to the Bar Citizens that we do, and they're generally much more lower key, much smaller numbers. We can't seem to organise. I think we couldn't organise generally a piss up in a brewery. But then when you did the BritizenCon, it's suddenly like bang, it's like just the same. It's like the same. We managed to get more people. It's like 400 or 300 people, I think it was, whatever it was last year, and it feels more like a similar sort of event. Not quite. Well, let's just round it up. That's fine. My math teacher always told me round numbers up. So if it was 252, it's 300 people.
So we had 1,000 the first year and 2,000.
Yes, that's right. It's all no one cares. We'll print out cardboard cutouts and we'll line them up.
Yeah,
we have these events though, like BritizenCon, where you get to meet like-minded people, and it's what you say, Madness. You see in those Bar Citizens a very low number, but when an event like this is on, it's like everyone's there, man. It's good. I love that. Yeah. And you don't have to go pretty far. You go Manchester, you buy your tickets, you have a lot of fun, you meet a lot of new people. I wouldn't have met this madman here in the middle above me here, or Miz or Mac, if I wouldn't have gone there. So I would definitely, for the people that are here and that are doubting and going on a serious note, definitely make sure you get those tickets in, because you will meet a lot of like-minded people. And I'm not a very outgoing person. Even for the not outgoing person, it's a great event. You meet a lot of like-minded people and you'll have a lot of fun.
And devs.
I met Brian. I met not with CIG anymore. Sean Noonan last year. And, just overall, very down to earth people and great to meet.
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah. So in terms of numbers, we had 70. We sold 70 tickets the first year, and we had 20 or 30 devs turn up. And then for this year's event, we had a total of 165. I can't quite remember what the proportions were, but there were a lot of people there. We're aiming for a 250, 300 this year, maybe more.
Or if you all go and buy tickets.
Yes, go buy tickets.
Yeah.
And on that note, shall we tell them about the promo?
Yes. Would you like to? I need to get the information so I can set it up as well. But we'll do the
while he's setting it up a minute, let's just talk about where it is, because that helps for people buying.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Where it is, the date, the time, and everything else. So that's all. So we'll go with that.
Yes. So it will be on the 21st of April, which is a Saturday next year, at the Radisson Hotel in Manchester Airport. Very easy to get to. You can get there by train, plane, by car if you want to. Yep. Not by boat.
No, unfortunately.
You could probably do it mostly by boat.
You could tow a yacht, couldn't you, and arrive in style?
Yeah, absolutely.
You could come in a spaceship, and just...
Yeah.
Let's hope people
we fully encourage you to come from wherever. Actually, this year a guy come over from Australia, which was very impressive.
Yep.
Wow.
Literally came to the country just for BritizenCon.
You don't have to be a Brit to come to BritizenCon. That's how inclusive we are. But yeah, I mean, the Radisson is so from our point of view, from visiting I went to all of them so far, and the location is really good. It's quite central. It's easy to get to. There's tons of hotels smackering all over the place. There's even Airbnbs that you can wreck, and we may have done that. We won't be going back there, put it that way. But there's plenty of others that might let you stay. So it's getting there is easy enough. There's loads of transport to it, and if you want to go and you don't, there's plenty of other people that you can get a lift from as well. If you organise with other people, I noticed on Facebook, especially on the SUK page, we had lots of people saying, "Well, I'm travelling from so and so. If anyone wants a lift," and there's loads of ways of doing it to spread the cost as well.
You're right.
If you could whisper us the code, please, Chris, and then we can...
If you give us the code, and what I can do is I can put the code
on
into text.
Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just send it to me on Discord or whatever, and then I will put the code in as a text. And then if basically you want to explain, Chris, how this works, the code, because it's your baby, how this is going to work.
So at the moment there is the tickets are on sale on the BritizenCon website. There are so many tiers. I did remember this, but
we've got the standard tickets, £30. And so the first 10 people to put the promo code in, which Madness will put in the chat for you, will get a £5 discount on just the standard ticket. If you want it.
Run, you cheap bastards! Put that promo code in. Go for it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Save a little bit of money.
Standard ticket. How much is the standard ticket? Then?
You all have to remember, this is not a corporate event. This is fan done. This is not, but it's done very well. Is that your ultimate goal eventually? Though I imagine, Chris, is to get to a place where you get like a corporate situation, right? You get corporate sponsors.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe CIG will sponsor it with you.
Yeah, our plan the first year was just to cover the costs, which we actually failed to do. But fortunately, this year we made back a lot of that loss. So overall, we've pretty broken even over the two events.
Is there a place, Chris, where people can contact you if they want to support you with donations or something like that?
Yeah. So if
I've
you
linked it in chat the buy tickets, where you've got not only the tickets to buy, but you can also just donate if you can't make it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Links there. Yeah. So if you can't make it and you want to help the actual creation of the event, so help fund it, help Chris towards making it even better and bigger. Every year, you can donate just out of the kindness of your heart.
Yeah.
So the link is
which
there.
would be great.
Yes, of course. It always helps, doesn't it?
Yes. So the price for the standard price for the standard ticket is £30. And then we have 4 tiered tickets above that. I'm just going to bring the website up.
Tier 1 is called the bronze tier, and it gives you entry.
Yeah. So that gives the bronze tier gives you the entry to the event. Obviously, it will give you entry into the bar Citizen afterwards.
Very important.
Yep.
Yes.
It will give you a BritizenCon 2018 T-shirt.
Similar to what
which
Miss is wearing now, but with a new
With
logo.
a different number at the end there.
yeah, which will be shipped to you. We're aiming before the end of the year, and you also get a complimentary raffle ticket. So that bronze tier is £50. 50.
So there
Bargain.
it is. There's your promo code. It's addicted. So there you go. That's the promo code.
Then we have the silver tier, which is the same as the bronze tier, except you get a hoodie as well.
Woohoo!
It keeps you warm in Manchester.
Who doesn't like a hoodie?
Yeah. And that hoodie will also be shipped to you, hopefully before the end of the year, but
So question for you, Chris, then. So regarding so on this year's show, who's on the panels? Who's the panels? What are we going to? How many panels? How's the day potentially going to be shaping up?
You just what?
Have I gone ahead of something? Have I jumped something?
A little bit.
What did I jump? What did I?
we got 2 more tiers. 2 more tiers.
Oh, we got 2 more tiers.
that-
Sorry. Carry on. Got a few tiers. Sorry, I thought we were finished. Is there more tiers?
No. There's 4 tiers. 4 tiers plus a standard ticket.
Whoa!
So, and I was going to say, silver tier is £85, which is a bargain.
Yeah.
Then we have the gold tier. The gold tier is the entry tickets plus a hotel room, including breakfast, for the Saturday night at the Radisson.
Oh, nice.
And a raffle ticket included. Then no other merchandise because we had people asking us for a ticket and room offer, so we put that tier in. That's £170. Again, bargain. And then finally we have the platinum tier, which is basically everything.
Everything.
All in one
Everything.
big package.
A special dinner with Chris and
This Chris.
candlelit dinner.
You can have dinner with me if you like. It will be very dull.
Just buying whiskey.
So I'd just like to
pounds, you can
to highlight
spend the night
with
it.
these tiers and stuff is that this is purely fan backed and funded event at the moment. So these ticket costs and everything else are going towards actually making this event happen. No one's paying us. CIG is not giving us any money.
Yeah.
We're not giving Chris any money. It's all coming out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get the money, it costs us, and we can't keep running them.
I look very sad.
Yes, and you'll be very poor and very sad.
It's-
So,
yeah.
if
Very poor
you
and
can't
very
make
sad.
it, but you want to help donate as well, then on that website where the tickets is, there is just a donation option. So please feel free to donate to the
We're
event as
asking for a
well.
lot of money today, are we?
No,
It
no,
started
we're
off
not
with
asking for money. We're
in
just
our
prodding
money
people in the
again.
right
This
direction.
this is the same as the way that Star Citizen ask for funding for their game. It's the same thing. At the end of the day, the money
Yes.
goes back into the game. This is we're providing
Yeah.
we're providing a service for you guys to be entertained. So you
Yeah.
know,
Is
So-
Sherman
so
here
the-
yet? We need to talk to Sherman. He needs to start throwing those suitcases of money to Chris.
Okay, so
That's what we need
wait.
there.
So we're talking about this crowdfunded, and we're talking
Yeah.
about that we need to raise money for it. But now we're going to talk about why you want to come and help
Yes.
fund this.
Yes.
Right?
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so now let's
That'd
go
be
on to
awesome.
the panels. Is that the first question we was going for? What
Yeah, I
panels?
was
So
gonna
last
say,
year
so-
we had panels.
let's talk about because last year how many panels did you have?
So we had two dev panels last year. We had one which was more design orientated and one that was more technical. We had a community panel and we had a panel interview with Alex Martin.
HCS voice.
Yes.
messaging.
Yes. So yes, that was a combination.
Hang on, she's the is it Anvil? She does the voice for the Anvil
Yes.
ships.
Voice of Anvil
Yes, for
Aerospace.
when you get in your little anvil ship, that's who was there.
Bless. It was a great
Yeah.
panel, and you can tell she was like, "Where am I? What am I doing right now?"
No, she
come down.
she really enjoyed it actually. So,
Yeah.
Mm. Sorry, carry on.
So
Disrupting
the
his
plan,
flow. You wouldn't catch me doing that sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Go on, Chris.
the plan for next year is to have at least 2 dev panels. But again, it's dependent on how many devs we can cajole into
Yeah.
doing panels.
Join us.
Yes,
We've had dev
we
panels
will.
both times before, so we'll definitely have some dev panel.
I
won't we?
think,
Yes,
judging on the fact that the success of last year, I would think they would be crazy not to want to come and do it because I mean it's great for the fans and you had plus 1,000 people on the live stream. I think that Miz was running with you guys like watching at the same time. So I mean, it's only in their interest. At the end of the day, they're not having to front really any cost. You guys are already fronting all the cost. They just have to turn up and then get a beer at the end of it. I mean, come on, it's not that hard, really.
and
A bit more.
they really enjoy it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Everybody has been really excited.
Mm,
Um,
good stuff.
Well, I
Yes.
for one can say it's definitely worth the ticket price at the very least.
Yeah, same.
yes.
I've
Yeah,
been
great
to
job.
every single one since it begun, and I will dread the day if I can never make it because I love going to those. And
Yeah.
you know, Chris, you put on such a great show with everything. You and your team, obviously, the way you go about doing it, it's
Just
it's
him,
very
just him.
professional. Just
Yes,
Chris.
just me.
You know, nobody else helps.
Just great.
And I just love getting down there, meeting everyone, meeting the developers, meeting Chris.
Yeah.
It's a once a year annual meetup that me and Chris have together. It's personal between us.
Yes, with
But
several
no,
spectators.
yeah, it's kind of weird, but we don't mind.
We're trying to have a private meeting here. What are you all doing? in
Why are you
Hawaii
here?
as well?
But it's definitely worth the ticket price, and
Yeah.
I expect the tickets prices that different tiers are worth it as well. So if you can afford to go to the higher tiers, do it. It helps out BritizenCon get the event done. So yeah, please, if you can make it, get there. I'll be there. We'll all be there. We want to see you.
It will be awesome.
It will.
And I'm very, very happy to announce that Brian Chambers has already confirmed that he will be there.
Here to hear first, guys. Brian Chambers is coming.
It's a good question.
And we'll probably rope him onto a panel as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry,
Absolutely. We'll twist his arm.
I'm used to it. It's a good question from Killblock. Is there a way to order any merchandise separately from the tickets, or is this?
There will be later. When we once we've started sending out the merchandise that people have bought with the tiered tickets, we will be opening a Teespring store where people can buy extra stuff.
Nice. We like stuff. We love stuff.
We just need a BritizenCon patch now.
Yes, and for people who want stuff, there will be more stuff on sale at the event itself.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, what stuff we don't know yet, but there will be stuff.
Wait and see.
Yes.
So you mentioned before last year we had the voice pack Alex on there, and Brian James has confirmed. Do we have any other guests that you know of or hoping to get on for this year?
Well, we've been talking around
more voice pack people, or
yeah, we I mean the HCS voice packs have been very good supporting us, and I know that they certainly plan to come back again. We need to confirm that with them nearer the time, but they will certainly plan to.
The problem with devs, guys, is that they don't or can't confirm until it's much closer to the event, because we don't know what CIG are going to be asking them to do and things like that. So there is an element of that.
Yeah, some of the planning always has to happen to the event for that reason. But it's very good of Brian to confirm so early. So.
Cool. So the other thing that we had at the event, so it wasn't just devs and panels, there was also exhibits, and I think we had like that, what's it called, the locker
Game Cab.
And Game Cab,
yes.
All sorts of different things there. So
the last couple of years, we've had Game Cab, and they've brought their they've been developing a specific Star Citizen pit, if you like, cockpit setup. We're hoping to get them back again this year. I still need to sort of negotiate with them, but we're hoping that will happen. We also have some exhibitors tables, and we've already got one of them sold. And this is where I'm a very bad person, because I've forgotten their name.
Again, this happened
Again!
you were telling us earlier today.
I know, I'm terrible. It's the Republic of org. So they've got a table with us, and they do cosplay and they sell art and stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing them, because they weren't there before, so it'd be nice to see some new exhibitors at the event as well, I think.
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
So it's definitely a little bit more than just turning up and meeting. It's more than just a bar citizen, guys. It's like getting to meet devs.
There is a bar citizen as
panels.
well as.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about them as well. There is definitely a bonus of bar citizens, but I'm saying this event is more than that. There's things for you to do. There's some stuff, interactive stuff that you can get involved in as well. And that leads on to last year we had the dogfighting competition. Someone may have won it around here.
I have no idea.
There was somebody.
Could be on the stream any second now. I have no idea.
If someone dares to type exclamation mark champion chat, I'll slap him.
Don't do it.
I'll slap him sideways.
No idea. These are just some of the pictures, guys. Just some pictures from the from the day.
So
So there's Board Gamer. Board Gamer's there. So if you want to see Board Gamer, he usually makes an appearance. All those board gamer
He
fans out
appears.
there. Look at that trophy. You probably look at that
Trophy was
trophy.
awesome. That was by Rice Made, and we did have him on one of the shows.
Yeah.
We did.
I got to hold it, which was really nice. Thanks, Chris. I didn't get to take it home. I got to hold it. It was so funny because it was like, I remember when I was there, and then the girl, I forget the name of the lady. I do apologize. She handed it to me, and then she was like, I don't know. I was like holding it, and then you guys were so busy, you didn't know what's going on. I was like, well, okay, I don't know quite. I'm thinking I'm going to go to the pub after this, and this huge trophy, and I was going, I want this trophy to take it home for sure, but I don't know quite what to do with it. So then I was like, I came up to one of you two, and I was like, do you have like the box for it? And you're like, oh no, you can't take it home with you. You're not allowed to keep it. I was like, what do you mean?
Trophy.
It's a trophy. I was like, you can't take
trophy.
it. You can't keep it. I was like, oh, cool. So I actually have a question for you. So is my name now going to be laser etched onto like the bottom of it to say the very first winner?
Little Madness. Put Little Madness on the bottom of it.
I think maybe we should. maybe we should eventually try and get some sort of plaque or something we could put the winners for each year on. Would be quite nice.
I mean, the dogfight competition this year was very much designed as a sort of first attempt trial to see whether it would work at all. Clearly it did. Clearly there was room for improvement as well. So
I think it went pretty smoothly though.
Yeah, it did.
There's a few people had hiccups with their controls, but overall I think it went pretty well.
Yeah. So we're going to expand that again next year. So we'll do another dogfight competition, along broadly the same lines of a 1v1 knockout.
Okay, so you're going for 1v1, yeah? That's cool. Are you going to get... Because, hey, all right, okay, because I was there, so I know a lot of people. There was a few salty tears from a few individuals who didn't have dual joysticks, because it was like, oh my god, I can't possibly know how to fly the spaceship without dual joysticks. Will you be... here's my first thing is one, if somebody rocks up with their own gear, will you be able to incorporate that into the setup? And secondly, will you have dual joysticks as an option, potentially, for someone?
My answer for that is we will see.
Soon.
People plugging in their own gear it may well be difficult. And also, it's because the time it takes, depending on how many people are signed up and the kind of running of the event. If you get everybody plugging gear in and out and setting up their profiles, it obviously extends the competition a lot longer. So the whole idea last year, at least, was to have everybody in the same situation. Obviously, that doesn't help if you play with a joystick or a mouse and keyboard, whatever. There's a joystick provider. Was it HOTAS or just joystick last year?
I think it was a HOTAS.
It was a HOTAS. It was single HOTAS. And that was, and then obviously mouse and keyboard. So for me, I mean, I'll always remember Chris. This is the funny thing was because a lot of people know over my stream, I flew just Gladius. Like everyone knows, like I was literally just wrecking people in Gladius all day long. That was my thing. I spent months training on it, and then I rocked up on the day, and it was like there's only one joystick. It's predominantly mouse and keyboard. And you had the Gladius was the single thing. So I literally, Bram was, sorry, just give your name away. Sol was next to me. His name is Bram, but yeah, Sol. Sorry, Sol. He was next to me, and he literally just was like, "Madness, you're gonna win. You're gonna win." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're gonna win, Madness. You've got this bad boy." And I was like, "No," but I was exhausted. Because I'd just driven up that day. So I was so tired. So Saul kept taking pictures of me fast asleep in between the rounds because I was so tired. Next time I'm coming up early so that I can get really drunk with everybody before.
I mean, I suppose there's potential if there is a sort of dual joystick setup that we could have all three on option if it was made in advance. Maybe there's something we can look into, or the tournament organizer definitely.
If just to sort of bring the variation if need be.
But certainly, we're starting the planning stages of the competitions now. So,
I mean, presumably to make it fair, everybody has to have the same ship and the same layout because it's you can't change that.
So again, we're going to go with the Gladius for that competition.
Someone says Guitar Hero controllers. That'd be
Oh, but they've ruined the cockpit though. It's all gone wrong. It's just all gone wrong.
Prisoner said dance pad.
They're going to be blind.
That might not be good for them doing it, but it'd be so cool for us to watch. Here's Madness dancing on the mat, trying to kill other people.
You watch it. I get some serious moves going. It will be fine. We'll just get rocking.
Yeah, we'll have to set that up.
Yeah, we'll go for that. This is going to be a thing now.
Has to be.
It has to be a thing. Along with Matt getting his beard trimmed and waxed. What a show! You got to buy tickets now for all these events. This could be hilarious. Madness on a dance mat and fucking and Matt getting his wax on.
Complaining about the fucking Gladius. Fucking hate that Gladius weapon.
Gladius, man. What the fuck? I'm blind! The only reason you're winning is because I'm blinded by the glare of the gun I didn't see last time. Come on!
We'll talk about that in ATV later, but that was an actual intentional thing to have give you gun glare, because that's fun, apparently.
Yes.
So on the same principle of the tournaments, we obviously, last year when we had that tournament, was Star Marine new or not out? I can't even remember now. It all blurs into one. But
it had just been out. I think it was really soon, wasn't it? It had just been out.
Just out. Yeah.
It was fresh.
So, is there an opportunity?
We did talk about doing a Star Marine competition last year, but again, it was a case of we want to trial the format, make sure that it works before doing anything too adventurous. But we are going to aim for a Star Marine competition this year. Again,
can Mac and I play live as we stream it? So
the details are to be determined, but we'll have sign-ups for all the competitions before the day, so that'll be straightforward. And we may even have a racing competition as well.
Good point.
That would be awesome. So that's everything. So we know that there's obviously the space racing ones, but
that's good. IPOC's going to be loving that.
Landing racing, right?
Sorry.
So at the moment we've got obviously the racing that we've had for years, but you're talking more planet-based landing, racing. Sorry, with the Noxes.
We could do. It's a possibility.
I think we should. Because you've got land. You've got FPS, and then you've got space. Come on.
But we've got to see what 3.0 brings, what it's going to be like.
We might have 3.1 by the time you guys get around.
We've got till April next year, so we'll have 3.0 and a half, even at least.
You never know, guys. 3.1 could be.
We may even have Cargo Olympics.
Whoa! Do you know what?
You guys are very fucking optimistic, are you?
I like
that. Work.
That would be funny. We have running. You could have like the
It would be hilarious.
Like one person.
Obviously, cargo's going to be a thing in 3.0. So you can can get the most into a ship and
I could do relays. You could do relays.
Look at Max's excitement. He goes, "Fuck the stream! I'm going to Cargo Olympics."
Cargo Olympics is a new thing. You could do you could do relay racing as well, where you have to load. You get two teams, and you have to load up as many boxes into the back of like a vehicle or Starfare or whatever, or Cutlass, and then you got to take off, get to the other side, then take it all off, like those silly shows you see with those fitness shows where they all have to do it. Yeah, that would be great fun. That would be hilarious.
So there's lots of things that we can do. So we'll see what happens. But certainly we're planning another dogfight competition. We're planning a Star Marine competition and racing. What happens after that?
One thing you'll notice on this podcast, Chris, is that we speculate to shit. And so we do try to make CIG's job really hard by coming up with really cool ideas that we want them to implement in the game. So now we're BritizenCon theme, we're going to do the same. So we're going to make your life hell. By the time you finished here, you're going to...
Yeah, you will have millions of ideas. Yeah. You're just... Honestly, this is the idea. This is just a big pot of geniuses right now here. This is
So...
Chat as well.
We are going to have TARDIS racing.
TARDIS racing. Sounds cool.
very little movement will be happening, just going backwards and forward in time, right? So it'll be whoever can press the button the fastest. It's going to be like Bill and Ted style racing, like when they go back in time, and then whoever's cleverer. I like that. I like that idea. See that?
So last year we do you want to talk a little bit about the prizes that was on offer for last year's competition?
I could tell you the prizes, baby. I've
been
flying the prizes on last year, and that'll get people wet with appetite, and then Chris can tell us what the prizes are going to be this year.
Or at least what he hopes them to be.
So last year, guys, so for anyone that's never known, so last year I won the first prize for being the champ and winning the dogfighting competition. The prize was a...
You did? When did that happen?
I don't know.
You never told me about it.
I've kept it very quiet.
Really?
I've been very quiet about it all year, honestly.
I went to go for a sandwich,
Modesty.
but it didn't go long enough by the sounds of it.
So modest. I'm so modest on this. I honestly, humble is my middle name. That's what I'm saying.
That's a little bit of humble madness.
A little bit of just nothing. Nothing was said.
Not
Anyway,
a lot of humble.
So back on this track, prizes.
The prize was, as far as I can remember, Chris, you can correct me if I was wrong, but the first prize was the Constellation Aquila. The second prize was the Sabre.
Ooh, nice.
I'm trying to remember now.
No, it was the Sabre, because I remember, because my
Yeah.
boys didn't say, why don't you just throw it for the Sabre? I was like, because the Aquila's better. And then and then the third prize was a freelancer doer or Max or something like that. I know it was a freelancer.
He was definitely a freelancer.
definitely a
It was
freelancer.
a standard freelancer.
Yeah, something like that. Which is, if you think about it, those three prizes, plus I think that we all got access to a voice HC pack.
A voice pack, yes.
A voice pack, which I never received, by the way, Chris. Just let you know, it's fine. Don't worry. But yeah, we got. I didn't read it. Don't read it. It was fine. But we had. That's a serious load of prizes. When I turned up and somebody said, "There's 3 ships there,"
So there was
totaling
the one that you won as well. The one that you won.
Yeah.
You probably haven't got a picture of it in the hangar, but
Hang on.
He also says in his RSI hangar.
Yeah, I'll bust it open.
Dogfighter champion.
I don't think it doesn't say Dogfighting champion. It just says BritizenCon winner, I think, or something. I'll show you. I'll bring it up on.
He's got a personalised item.
Yeah.
For BritizenCon in his actual Star Citizen hangar, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was Nuberfire meant to send you these voice packs?
Chris.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is HCS going to make another appearance this coming year?
I hope so.
That'll do.
We discussed that 10 minutes ago, Ryan.
Yeah.
Did we?
It's okay.
Was I eating or drinking? Or drunk? Or...
You're probably drinking.
Okay. Well, everything tunes out when I...
But yes, they are very keen supporters of us, so I'm sure they'll be back again this year.
Very keen.
Next year.
So who
I've got a question. I got a question, Chris. Sorry, one of the questions. While Madness is trying to show up his.
I've got it. Here it is.
You got it?
Bring it up live. There it is, guys. So this is my hangar. So just so everyone knows, this isn't going crazy. So my hangar, there it is. My account, RSI, blah blah blah. This is Madness's account, and there it says Constellation Aquila BritizenCon 2017 prize, and it's grayed out cool as well. So it's different.
You can't get that anywhere else.
And you can't get that. That is exclusively for me. It's
and that means there's no interior,
which is pretty sweet. There's no interior. It's basically inside that ship right now is a Jackson Pollock. That's all I'm saying. If you had a black light, it would be just terrible. It would just wouldn't.
It's the Constellation Aquila racing version.
It's just amazing. No, it was quite a surprise because I met Chris at Bar Citizen not too long ago in London, and you weren't aware of the fact that this actually had happened for me.
No.
And I was like, you were like, really? And I was like, yeah, seriously. And I showed you a picture, and you were like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool prize.
Shut up about it.
So again, do we have any clue of what prizes will be this year, or not yet?
We're going to ask CIG for more ships.
More shit.
Whether we get ships is up to them.
Bastards.
So we've asked about the gear. Yeah.
You'll be like Nox, a cyclone, maybe a dragonfly. A core reliant.
If you guys want to give me suggestions as to what bits you would like to see for prizes,
Polaris,
javelins,
yes.
Bengal.
Let's
couple
keep
of
it.
Bengals.
I would
Keep it
suggest nothing more expensive than a Connie.
Okay. So I'm thinking. What are we thinking? Game changer.
Yeah, can we just have one of the game changers,
Have
please? We
one
don't know what it
game
is, but
changer
we'll
in the
have
game.
one.
Take one of those, and we'll take a reclaimer. And you should have a prize for people who dress up. What's it called?
Cosplay.
Should have a prize for cosplay. Yeah.
I'll come as Shaniqua.
For in game, I'll come as Chris Roberts in the last ATV with no pants on, and I'll just stint there in the corner, just get really salty with people that say things opposite. That would be my Chris Roberts impression. Be good.
Thanks. I don't know what to make of that.
Some ideas for people in the chat: dress up as Derek Smart, and you walk out with two
Derek
blue
Smart
eyes.
dress up. No,
Two broken eyes, broken arms.
Someone
Get in
will.
trouble
It's
with
like
that
arriving as Hitler, isn't it? Really? Let's be fair.
Wow.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? We should just get some T-shirts, custom T-shirts made. We actually, by the way, guys, it's actually been discussed to get about having Derek Smart on the podcast. How's that to come on the show briefly?
No.
We've shot it
Don't
down.
even give the guys
We've
some
shot it down instantaneously.
deserves-
It's dead. It will never happen.
Well,
Unfortunately.
no.
I was
that was one of Bio's ideas, by the way.
No, it was one of my ideas. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Hitler will be welcomed, yes, not so much.
Let's invite him onto the show. No, it's not going to happen.
Hitler will be welcome. Derek Smart will not.
So, one of the other things that I thought would be quite nice is, so we know that Star Citizen eventually wants to have virtual reality in the game, and we know Elite Dangerous has it at the moment. Will there be any sort of virtual reality setup or potential for virtual reality setup so people can come and have a look, see what it would look like, maybe even showcase? I know we don't want to showcase other games, but if you want to get a feel of what it would be like, Elite Dangerous apparently is quite a good one to test with.
I know that there are plans in the works, but of course it's dependent on somebody having a virtual reality setup that can bring
Got to be
to the
somebody.
event. Yes.
So if anybody wishes to donate a virtual reality setup for the event, please let us know.
Yes. That would be.
lovely.
That would.
I think that would be really
Yes.
cool,
If
and I think
it's a permanent donation, we keep it afterwards.
Yeah.
I keep
Everything donated will be kept anyway.
slowly stolen, quietly
In
stolen.
the small print.
Read the small.
Yeah, we're not on about the gameplay of Elite Dangerous so much. It's just that apparently the virtual reality of it is impressive to see, and it does show off what Star Citizen can potentially be. I do think if we can get some sort of VR there, it would definitely draw people in, and it would be really cool to just get an idea of what hopefully Star Citizen will be using this VR, especially with that face tech. We're getting a little bit of look of what that's going to be like. So I think,
Yeah, that would. Do you know what? That would be sick if they could actually, if you could get in contact with CRG and get them to bring that kit along, so people could just
the
mess
face
around
tech
with it. Yeah,
you never know by next
that,
year.
Do you know what? By next year, that would be.
It'll be
cool...
in there. It'll probably be in the game by then.
Yeah.
Sure, let's not get
You
too
never know.
optimistic.
If it is, that's fine. But if it's not, it would be super cool opportunity for them to bring and just for people to come along and just have a bit of a laugh in one of the booths or something where they could just mess around with it and be like, "Mom, get the characters to do something."
Bringing Elite Dangerous to a Star Citizen event is basically going in your wedding dress to a rave, right? I don't know if that is the right event to bring it. We could do some truck simulator. You know what I mean? How many times have I said "you know what I mean" today?
Every time Sol says "you know what I mean," normally we're gonna have a drinking game now. That's the plan.
We'll do that one day, man.
How many is that? 2?
One day when he's not drinking.
Yeah, so it's cool. So I think, hopefully we can get some sort of VR. So those guys that are interested in seeing that, you never know, you may well see it there. We'll, of course, the Mac. All of us here are streamers, and all of us will be keeping updates coming from when we get information and feed from BritizenCon. We will be announcing it on our streams as well. So If you and also exclamation mark question in chat if you do want to ask about the event, any questions at all about it, get them on the question form. We'll start answering.
I
them
do not
anyway.
know when 3.0 will be released.
You can ask it, but we don't know.
Welcome to our world. That's the number one question. Every question.
That's a returning question every week. Yeah,
we troll each other with that question. That's the funny thing. Streamers go into streamers' channels and go, "When's 3.0 released?" Yeah.
I just tell everyone they're sexy people, and then I fuck off again. Normally, that's what I do.
So, sexy. Bye. That's it. That's what you do.
Ryan. I say hello, sexy bearded motherfucker, and then 5 minutes later,
and then he's gone again.
I should have. I need to put a pineapple where Sol is right now. I think that's probably.
They're still working on the tropical surprise.
The pineapple is there, man.
This leads on to the next question. Well, not a question so much. Someone has asked a little bit about it. Is the streaming side of things? So obviously, there's going to be people that can't make it to the event.
Yeah.
Last year, myself and kind of Mac streamed the event, which I thought it went pretty well. So we showed off the dev panels and everything else. Next year, we'll let you explain it, and then maybe
we
Mac
have
about it.
glorious plans for the stream. But at the very least, we're going to be streaming all the panels, and again they'll go up on our YouTube channel after the event as well. Once we've had some sleep.
You don't get sleep.
Yeah, there's
What?
no
No sleep. So yes, we'll be streaming all the panels, and in between panels, we will.
Fateless.
These guys will be streaming sort of the competitions and wandering around interviewing people, buying them drinks. And
Whoa.
Yeah, you're buying us drinks, maybe.
What are you signing us up to
Got a
here?
minute.
they're
Unless you're giving us the budget.
They're going to
Tap
buy
water, maybe. That's a
broke
definite
dips with drinks for interviews and that sort of thing.
Council pop.
So yeah.
Actually, can I ask a
basically,
question? Can I ask a question? Just because I remember, when I was there, poor Miz, was doing the streaming, the live streaming, sweating his looking like me right now, when I was trying to do this show for the first time. I mean, not only doing it it's the same thing, similar kind of thing in a sense, not for 1,000 people, but still very similar for about anyway. And we're doing something new under a pressure situation, it's crazy. And you had to do it with potentially, was it 3G at some points or something ridiculous like that?
yes,
the internet
the
wasn't
hotel was a
working
pain in the ass for us, so we were on mobile phone internet at points.
So those 1,000 people were watching the BritizenCon, enjoying it through 3G phone internet.
Yes.
It's amazing. Amazing what you
did actually demonstrate how well Star System plays over a 3G connection.
How crazy is that? I couldn't believe when I heard that. I was like, that blew my mind. So this year, though, you guys are going to be actually paying for the internet rather than plugging a dodgy wire in and stealing it from the next door.
Sticking your hand out the window trying to get a connection.
Now,
yes, it's going to be a proper internet setup. We're going to have a proper network.
You're gonna have a separate booth as well for the streamers, so the fanboys don't stay away from them and stuff. Or
yeah, that's the plan.
Stream. It's going to be on stilts, really high up, so that they can lord it over everybody
else.
else.
The autographs afterwards. Don't worry.
You're gonna have a booth that overlooks the lobby area and the hall, so everybody on the stream can see all the lovely people.
Very nice.
Yeah, cool. So when it comes to the live stream, we plan on the run-up to BritizenCon to have guests like myself, Miserable, hopefully some other streamers as well, hopefully Madness and Sol, hopefully you guys, streaming on the BritizenCon channel to build up the channel. So I expect everyone to be there. I don't want you to be. I expect you all to be there when we're all streaming. And obviously on the day, we'll be trying to interview as many of the devs. We'll be showing on the panels that's going on. We'll basically be giving you an attendee's view of the event. But obviously, if you can get there personally, physically, that is better. You'll have much better time, but we'll try and do our best to sort of show it off as we can.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll also wax Super Mac's beard on BritizenCon, so definitely be there. And
I might not have it by then.
I'll be there trying to defend the best.
So on the day, the plan is that Mac and I are going to be basically your Ant and Deck for the show. We are going to be hosting it.
Mizzy G and Mackie B.
Yeah, that one. So we're going to hopefully, if as long as everything goes right, we will get to the event early. We're going to stream the outside. We're going around and talk to some people. Pardon?
Will you guys sing as well?
Maybe.
If we get enough donations on the day, maybe we'll sing. And then everybody will tune into a different channel. Yeah. So we're going to stream outside of the event. We're going to do a pre-event. We're going to do like a red carpet type of thing. We're going to go up. We'll meet some of the backers that are coming and that are turned up. And then we're going to go and we're going to stream from inside.
We are not sponsored by Red Bull.
The event. Not yet. Let's get ready. Exactly. So yeah, the plan is so we're going to have a streaming booth, and then there's obviously, because it's separate way, all the panels and everything else will be on stream, and we will actually shut up for 5 minutes while those panels are on.
Yes, and then go and have your breaks and get your drinks and things like that.
Yeah, actually get out and get beer this year, which would be quite nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do that, and then so we will stream those. We'll be grabbing any dev we can find, any streamers or just anybody we can find can come over to us in our booth, and we'll do a little interview. We'll chat to them and stick them on stream as well.
Also, when we figure out what devs are coming, when we know for sure who's coming, we'll take questions that we can aim at the particular devs, because obviously not everyone can answer the same question.
That's a good idea.
When we get more confirmation as to who's coming,
don't ask when questions.
Do not ask when questions.
So when me and Mac are streaming on the BritizenCon channel leading up to the event, come on the channel, give us some questions for the devs that you want asked, and we will make a note of them, and we will definitely ask the devs, because we'll have a few opportunities to do that. So
write this all down, because it's October now. The shit is in April. Get your fucking books out. Write it down.
I'm gonna say with regarding the questions, I will be vetting these pussies to make sure that we ask proper questions. None of this nonsense I've seen on other channels.
What is your favourite colour, Brian?
Excuse me, but me and Mac did an expert ambush interview on Brian Chambers last year. We were pissed out of our heads the year before, actually, but so it's fine. We do ambush.
Also, remember, the questions that you ask now or that you have for CIG now will make no sense in April, because the answers will be out by then. So we'll take them most likely closer to the event.
Yes.
So if you have a question now, it'll most likely be answered by the time it comes around to BritizenCon. So just
this is future proofing.
This is our first step in the kind of roadmap towards BritizenCon. We'll be doing this probably again, and we'll be vetting you guys for more information closer to the event. And Chris will probably be coming back again. We'll be doing another talk about everything that's confirmed for sure. Hopefully a bit closer to it, so we have an absolute lockdown on everything.
And I will have less hair and.
You'll have taken the money and run. A big suitcase of money. Where's Chris?
Yes.
Big palm trees behind it.
Although, rather than for my island in the Bahamas, it will be a little. I don't know.
It's all fake.
It's all
fake. It's all fake. It's not
a little
real.
spot in the south of France.
Brilliant.
So, I think that's pretty much most of BritizenCon summed up. We'll have a quick chat about the bar citizens that are going to be going on. But there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot now. So let's just talk about the bar citizens instead.
Yeah.
So last year we had a bar citizen on the Friday, which I think is the plan again this year. Someone else, well, me and Mac maybe, or somebody will be sorting that out. We did last year, and it was we had quite a few people turn up to that. We filled the whole pub up, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have the bar citizen at the end of the event. Chris, I don't know if you got. Probably not going to keep. We're going to keep the details quiet, but unless you want to give anything, probably not.
It's not fully planned yet. So
we'll see. Oh,
hello.
Green screen.
We are visitors.
And then we all. No, that is all the bar citizens actually. Good night.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh.
No bar tonight. I brought my own bar, so it's fine.
Some more wine. Some more wine.
Some more wine.
So yes, we're hoping that somebody will organise an ad hoc bar citizen on the Friday night.
I'm sure somebody will.
Because on the Friday night,
the creator of Mrs. Drinking Problem.
Yes,
Hang on.
That's so true.
Let Chris finish. What are you saying, Chris?
Yeah, on the Friday night, the be setting up for the event, so we won't be organising the bar citizen then. But on the Saturday night, there will be an official bar citizen for the event. Time and place to be determined or to be confirmed. Closer to the time.
Yeah.
But it will be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you've got Brian Chambers there, Brian Chambers is pretty much, he owns a pub afterward. Pretty much wherever he goes, it's like he's literally like a rock star, and just like he just yeah. And then you have the development.
And can you also imagine everybody at the event descending on a pub?
Yeah, just
we hammered the pub last year. Absolutely hammered it.
You should have seen the pizza pile. On the tables afterwards. I think I had a picture. I won't bring it up. I showed it earlier. There was just literally an entire 2-3 deck chairs of like just mountain of pizza that was just everybody just ordered.
Royalties for the
Domino's had a freaking awesome night.
What I will say to you guys, what I will say to anybody that's coming to these things, these type of events, these early events are the best time to get into these events, because obviously, as it gets more corporate, and I'm sure this will get successful, it's a great show, Chris is running, it's going to become bigger and bigger every time. When you come to these beginning events, it just feels it's so cool because you're all really close and knit, and there's just something super. I mean, I'm not saying that won't happen when you get older, but as things kind of like change, as they get older, as these things change, you know what I mean? But like, can you imagine like going to the first ever Comic-Con at San Diego? It would be like 50, 60 people there, and it would have been really cool and fun, and you'd have met everybody and got to know everyone. And then it's imagine going now, it's like what, 200,000 people or something. It's a totally different thing. So
just imagine in 10 years' time, when this is a massive event with 40,000 people, and you can go, I went to the first one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan?
I did, and I got the first ticket in the first.
And you got the tickets, and I went to this, and I won the second, and I won the first, dogfighting competition.
Oh my god, man!
And then there'll be like other people will be like saying they won the second.
Can we get a jar for this? Can we get a jar set up for this?
But I'm saying that is
every time he mentions him being a champ, he donates to BritizenCon.
Yes.
That's the special magic. Yes. So if you haven't got a ticket, and if you've been thinking about it, you're not sure, you're close by, or even if I thoroughly recommend it. I had a whale of a time. I'll be back again. I know these guys are all gonna be there. You can come and see us. You can come and meet us. You can meet the champ. I think, Chris, actually, I need to get the introduction music. I think when I come in, I think we should get that. We're gonna have like WWE.
Funny, Chris said delete that from the question list. I don't know why.
We'll get the champ music going. I think we'll maybe like some smoke. I'll get some smoke effects in.
It's all right. We'll set up yakety sax or something.
We'll get some.
Okay, guys. We'll move this on a little bit. So we have a couple of questions regarding BritizenCon. So we'll ask them, and then we'll carry on with the usual show, which is the news and everything else. So the first question was from I think Mr. Sunshark, who has bought a ticket. I believe he's got the permission from the missus, which is cool. He says, if I get the hotel room, I can have a guest, his wife. I hope it's his wife. His wife in brackets. Maybe not. He says,
"I am available. I am free."
He says, "But I assume the breakfast is only for one."
Yes. You can get additional breakfasts.
Breakfasts. To be honest.
What I need you to do is fill out the contact form on the website. Let us know that you've got a ticket with a hotel room and you want to bring an extra person, and we will sort that out and charge you some more money.
Yes. There is also a bar, or a, how do you call this? There is you can get like a meal deal around the corner anyway if needed.
Yeah.
So.
McDonald's.
Yeah, easy.
McDonald's.
Easy.
It's like the airport,
so
right next to the airport. So if you want some food, if you want to go out for breakfast, pick
delivery
up some breakfast
room,
at the
man.
airport. Yeah, delivery.
If you're staying at the Radisson Blue, you don't go out for a McDonald's, mate.
Hungry House. Hungry house, just
hungry house.
Deliveroo.
But,
Let's get
yes,
delivery to your
we can arrange an extra breakfast. So just contact us for that.
You'll be pissed out of your head. Get some kebabs at 9 in the morning. Who gives a shit?
So the other question was from Killblock. Can I pick up the T-shirt at the event or get it shipped to a third party in the UK?
Well, when you bought your ticket with the T-shirt, you will have supplied us with a shipping address.
South Africa.
So that's the address that it goes to. If you buy them separately later on, then again there'll be a shipping address, so you can send them wherever.
Like. Okay.
In fact, I think you can also send them internationally if you so wish, but you just pay a bit more for shipping.
Yeah, that's it. I got an idea, Coffee Horror. I think Madness will deliver your breakfast to you.
In American, I expect.
No.
Okay, so what he's basically saying is you can get it sent to where you like. So when you buy the T-shirt at a later date, you'll be able to put in the shipping address, and if you buy the ticket with the T-shirt, you can put in the shipping address also for that.
Yes.
So I noticed he hasn't put it in the form, but he did ask in chat as well. There was a question saying, is it possible to transfer the ticket to another person? I presume so if they can't make it.
Was this grey market?
He is from South Africa, so it might be that if he can't make it.
If anybody's going to South Africa and wants to take his T-shirt to him, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Well, you can ship South Africa.
You can
You
shit
just
on.
pay more for the shipping.
Shit on South Africa.
shit
What's
on
that got to
South
do with it?
Africa.
So is that a no? You can't transfer the ticket, or we don't know yet? Or special circumstances, maybe.
Ooh, special circumstances. We'll have to see.
Okay.
You'll have to contact us, and we'll do it on a case-by-case basis.
Basis. That's a very good question, Prisoner, and I think you did mention this before, but will there be options to buy tickets on the door?
There will, but they will be more expensive.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But no, I'm glad that you're doing that.
So before we didn't have tickets on the door, but so this year we are going to have tickets, but they will be pricier.
They'll
than
be more
the
expensive.
Right, yeah.
Essentially,
Cash
we're trying to get the money sooner because the more that we know how much we have, sooner the more we can put into the event.
Yeah, no, that's good.
If we had 300 people turn up on the door, well, we've already organised the event. That money will then have to go into next year's pot. So that's why we're trying to encourage you to buy sooner.
Yes,
We can use it on the
like I
bar
said,
citizen after, Chris, and that money. No problem, man. We'll sort that out.
Sorry, I mean, my attendance fee can just be. Wait, you take a little bit out of that. It's fine, no problem. I understand.
We'll sort something out. We'll have a chat afterwards. We'll sort something out.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll sort it out. Don't worry. We'll. But
No,
actually, question: Will you, when you have to pay, will you have to pay cash on the door, or will you take credit card or check, or possibly, installments?
PayPal.
Apple Pay.
Installments.
IOU pieces of paper.
In installments, you can pay it all now. And
Get in or you can fuck off.
Oh, no, yeah, go.
You can pay it all now and you get the ticket later. That's basically
Sexual
what it is.
favors for entry not possible. Maybe just quickly around the corner.
Washing dishes.
For the moment, it's cash on the door. We are looking into card options.
Okay, cool.
So there's other little PayPal device things as well, aren't there?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Nice.
hopefully
We're looking into that. I can't say
more
more.
more information will be forthcoming.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good stuff.
But at the moment, if you want to buy your ticket using a card, buy online.
Yes. Do we have the link? Have we been posting the link? Have we got the link again?
So yeah,
I've been
so
posting
the
the
final thing to sum up on that really, guys, is if they haven't all sold out already, the code is addicted, and you can buy a standard ticket with a 10% discount or £5 off.
£5 off.
£5 off the standard ticket. So use the code addicted. There's only 10 of them, so the first 10 people to use that will get the code.
which is nice. It's a nice little.
And also, please follow the BritizenCon Street Twitch channel because Mac and myself and other people will be hosting some giveaways and shows and etc. on there, and that will be where the event will be streamed from eventually. So please go, make sure you give that a follow.
A very serious question. So when people use this code, do they know that the discount will be applied or has ran out before they order? I imagine, yeah.
Yes, it will be obvious when you
reiterate.
Shows you on the ticket that the money has been taken off.
Okay,
if
it's
the
not
code
like
doesn't
it's
work,
like
if it doesn't work,
game.
You paid full price.
If it doesn't, sucker.
You lose.
yes, and it's only on the standard ticket.
Yeah.
Standard tickets. All you assholes in chat, make sure you get your fucking tickets now. Not at the door. Pay this man. Got a great event.
Only
going.
assholes. We don't
Have a lot of fun.
Assholes.
Have a lot of fun. And again, I say it again, you meet a lot of great people. I wouldn't have sat here if I wouldn't have gone to, and this is how serious it is. If I wouldn't have gone to BritizenCon last year, I wouldn't have met Madness. I wouldn't, we drove up together. We had a lot of fucking fun. And
actually, that's the point. If you're not, as long as you're not a psychopathic murdering weirdo, you're more than welcome. I travel up from London and I have a little car, so if I get to know you reasonably,
a very little car.
Very little car. Sol was like, literally. I arrived. And so, how tall are you, Sol?
6'3".
6'3".
What?
And he's let's just say he's not on the small side. He likes a burger.
I'm a big man. I'm a fat fucker.
He likes a burger. I don't know. I swear my car was like the Flintstones. You know,
The
when they put
vagina
the thing on the
burger.
side, like it fell over one side. I was just like, damn. Seriously, I didn't think I was going to get in the car. I thought it was going to fall over. But no, we got in, and but like I said, I'm driving up, so I have space for a couple more people. So if people want to come along,
Driving up from where?
London to Manchester.
My London.
So I will be.
I think his missus just gave him the signal. What are you saying?
What are you doing? What are
doing?
you doing? Inviting gross
Not in the
weirdos?
car.
No, obviously I get to know you first. I'm not just random strangers.
Just some random.
You have to take him for dinner first.
Free
You have to
ride,
take him for
everybody.
dinner
But
We'll get
no,
the madness bus out.
I bet you I'm very, very, very easily just. Actually, to be fair, the great thing about BritizenCon, I don't know about you guys, but it's the only place where I go where I get people buying me drinks. It was fantastic. I felt like I was a 12-year-old,
Lord Styles.
20-year-old again. It was amazing.
I'll tell you the funny thing about that. I stand in front of everybody at the start of the event, tell them all who I am, and I do the same at the end and thank everybody for coming. And I still meet people in the pub and I go, "Who are you?"
We get that every downstream, don't worry about it. I followed you a year ago. Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. People, I think that's Anyway, we can talk about that another time. So shall we move on then? So thank you so much, Chris, for all the information on BritizenCon. Like we said, check it out, guys. We'll be talking about BritizenCon now, leading up to the event. You'll be hearing more about it from my channels and from everybody's channels here, I imagine, as well. So it's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. Shall we talk about Star Citizen then? Let's talk about actually this week. Let's talk about what's been going on. We've got some topical conversations to chat about. So I'm going to go roll straight in because we're talking about 42, and I'm just going to bust straight in here with Squadron 42 and the fact that the dates have been removed from the webpage, and the fact that Squadron 42 is not going to be shown at CitizenCon. But Mac and Detox did correct me beautifully on my tweet not too long ago by saying that Squadron 42 is now going to be, is it the happy hour thing? Is that the one I'm on about? Or the... What's it called? I forgot what it's called.
Anniversary live stream?
The anniversary stream,
live
that's
stream.
the one, sorry.
Was it anniversary or holiday? One of those.
It's the November stream.
Yes.
The holiday stream.
Yeah, is it the holiday?
Yeah, it's the holiday one.
Okay.
It's the holiday one, that's the one.
Yeah,
December. It's
Holiday
December.
live stream. Yeah.
It's December.
There's some cool streaming ideas.
No, November. I think they said it's November. The details will come in November stream.
Planning on showing Chris Roberts' latest CRG plans on showing Squadron 42 in December, with both Star Citizen and Squadron 42 showing many of the same systems such as Subsumption. I mean, this is from an actual article, so this could be incorrect. Okay, so Squadron 42 will be the focus of our holiday live stream in December. Now, is the holiday live stream in December? Or is it November? Because if it's in November, these guys. Yeah, it's December. So there'll be a preview of some gameplay.
You have the anniversary live stream in November, and then the holiday live stream in December.
Okay, thank you. That's what. So it's the holiday live stream is when Squadron 42 is effectively going to be shown, and there will be a preview of the gameplay, and there will be a roadmap for its completion. So, all right, I'm going to say,
funny if we see the same shit as CitizenCon last year, so the same video.
okay, now I hate to say it, but there was like they've said that they're going to show something now. They have said they're going to show things before and not shown us and said it's not ready to show you guys. They could do it again. I think they will actually.
I think what's happened is they made a mistake last time. Now they've realised the errors and they're planning ahead properly rather than sort of leaving it to the last minute. Because it was last minute whether we'll see the Squadron 42 as well as the CitizenCon footage we got to see. So I think what they're doing is they probably tried to get it ready for this year for CitizenCon, couldn't do it, and thought, let's just make sure that we give ourselves enough time to complete it, which is why we're going to see it as a separate live stream itself, which I think is a good idea because obviously this year CitizenCon's devoted to exploring new worlds. They want CitizenCon to be its own thing because it's a big deal. Is Squadron 42?
It's a shame that we're not going to be seeing it at CitizenCon. So we're going to see more 3.0 and hopefully some stuff from future patches down the line. And that is a huge shame. I think a lot of people were hoping that CitizenCon was going to be showing Squadron 42. There's nothing we can do about that. However, I do think the fact that it's nice that they've at least lined it out and said, this is what we're going to show here. This is what we're planning on showing there. Because we've had for so long this unknown, is it going to be shown? Isn't it going to be shown? Now, at least we know. I think they did it for Gamescom as well. They said we're definitely not showing it at Squadron 42 there. So now we at least know. We're not going to sit there and go, well, where's the Squadron 42 footage? We know it's not going to be there. And it gives them time to work on it. And I do think we will get it on the holiday. I know they've said it before, but I do think we will this. Because I think if they were that close before, I think they're happy with some form. Now they've said it and officially like they have there, whereas before it was more hearsay that they were going to do it. I definitely think it's going to be happening this time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I can understand your concerns, Madness, because they've said something, it's not been delivered. So I understand it, mate.
They've got no bank with me. That's the honest truth. There's no credit. If my missus was telling me that I was going to have sex as long as they've been promised me 3.0, I would have dumped the bitch ages ago and moved on. I mean, like, it's... The reality is like...
She's in bed, it's okay.
There's no trust. Seriously, it's just like, I've got no... I'm sorry, but you've got to be crazy to believe them. Surely, I mean, I am a bit mad and all, but just
you are madness.
Honestly, it's just I think you guys are more mad than me because I don't believe them. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that. No, it's fine. Honestly, anyone can have an opinion on based on their experience, and that's all we can base our thoughts on.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, the fact is we're adults, we can get along because we understand everyone has their own opinion.
And I understand that you guys hope that they will be, and I respect that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
understand why people are worried.
It's more hope than anything. It's more hope that they're going to do it, and they're going to give it. There's
no reason why they won't deliver it. There's no reason why they will deliver it. It's just they are trying to achieve that. But that's the thing. People, based on their experience of CIG, will have misconception. Well, not misconception. They will see it and think, well, maybe it won't happen because it's happened before. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I truly hope and expect it to happen, but I can see and I understand why people don't expect it, and there is that chance.
Yeah, which is I kind of feel sad that I feel like that way, but I just feel like I don't want to be like I've been. It's like a relationship where you've been burnt too many times and you're feeling a little bit like it just hurts just so much more. I can't do it.
I don't want it in the bum. I don't want it in the bum.
I can't take it again. I can't take it again. No. So I'm going to move on quickly because we need to keep this ship rolling.
Yeah, go for it.
And if everyone's cool, is everyone happy? Does anyone
I
to say
think
anything
so.
else on this? Is that okay? Cool. So I was just going to roll us on to what is to CitizenCon because that's where you're going, guys, very soon. So we know that it's going to be the main focus for CitizenCon is going to be focusing on 3.0. and beyond, and they're going to be exploring new worlds in the keynote section. So that's going to be the exciting part for CitizenCon, is the keynote section. I think that's where I'm expecting to see hopefully some aliens, maybe some procedural planets, maybe microtech, if you're lucky. Do you think
Some planets would be cool.
We
more
have some
worlds?
sort of nothing's really been said about seeing other planets, has there? There's nothing been said about.
It's just
I would be
exploring new
surprised.
worlds.
Yeah.
Is the highlight of the thing.
They
That's what
say that exploring new worlds can mean many things to many different citizens, and I agree. I think we will see something in terms of new planets, because they are working on ArtCore, they're working on planetary tech, they're working on forests. So yeah, I expect, and also very unusual planets that we are not accustomed to. So ones that have dangerous atmospheres, ones that are Banu maybe, or alien. As yourself, I'm so looking forward to seeing what they've got so far worked on.
Do you think we'll see mining? Do you think
I
we
wouldn't
might
be
see more
surprised.
mining? 'Cause it's
They thought about getting it into 3.0, didn't they? But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it must be close.
game changer.
Well, we
Yes.
know it's
I
consolidated
think
outlets.
I do think we'll definitely be seeing the game changer, or at least a mention of it.
Raven, Saber Raven.
I have knowledge that we'll be seeing the game changer, hearing about the game
Saber
changer.
Raven. I don't know anything.
don't know about the
that,
Raven.
I'm afraid.
Because I know obviously Ben sneaked it by talking about the Saber Lego last week. I believe he said everyone's raving about the Saber Lego, which I thought was quite a clever little choice. Ben loves to use his little kind of clever words, so I was just thinking, I wonder if that will be the concept sale, or it will be the game changer for CitizenCon. I'm curious which, or it might be another ship as well. I don't know. It could be a
Good to
couple
have
ships.
band back.
What's that, Sol?
It's good to have band back.
It is.
Yeah.
You're a bit
Yeah,
quiet, Sol, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
yourself
I
up
know. I
again.
was like, Saul, I didn't realize you were there for a second. You've been so quiet.
No, I mean his
Yeah.
mic's quiet.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my mic's quiet, is it?
Yeah.
You were a bit far away from the mic, maybe. Did you move it?
Yeah, I moved it around. This is better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
mate.
that's good. I can hear you now.
I don't want people to see the sock.
Do you
that is
know? Do
mounted
you know
to
what?
my-
Do you know what my biggest thing with Ben is, and I know other people would say it, but my biggest thing for Ben is that because he's clearly a man that's overweight. And I worry when I hear him talking and breathing on some of the show. He always sounds like he's heavily about to
Darth
die.
Vader.
And I worry. This is a genuine concern for me, is because I really like him a lot, and I just worry about him because he was struggling to standing up and talking, and I hear him. He sounds very laboured when he breathes. And I have uncles who are who are obviously a bit on the large side, and I hear the same in him as in them, and I just kind of worry about his health especially. So Ben, if you're listening, I love you, dude, and I know we need you around longer. So please.
Just enough till the game's released.
Just look after yourself, okay, buddy?
He never says this to me. He never says this to me. No.
You keep eating burgers, mate. It's fine. Get rid of you. It's fine.
They, the CIG
Get rid
said,
of you.
I think didn't Lando and Ben, they do like a whole diet thing, don't they? Where
I hope so. I genuinely
go through that.
Ben is awesome. His passion is amazing for this.
Yeah, bless
for
Ben.
Wing Commander especially, he's like just insane amount of knowledge.
When you see him next to Sandy, though, it is a crazy difference in scale.
Yeah.
Have you seen them both stood next to each other? It is insane. Like seeing Sandy and Ben.
how many Sandys can you get inside of Ben? That's what I want to know.
24.
Don't even think about it.
That's
I'm glad you didn't ask it the other way around. That's fine.
That's the next. Hey, I'm not gonna go. That's disgusting.
That's
We keep
even
it clean on this
worse.
channel. We keep it clean. But anyway, no. But like I said, but seriously, I it's just something I notice. I'm a very caring kind of guy, and I want to see Ben around, and
He's had a few issues and he's been getting them sorted out, which is good to see. He's been getting better. He's had problem with his eye and things like that. So it's
we're here to support you, buddy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so there's that. But here's the interesting thing then, guys, as well. I want to talk about CitizenCon with you boys is the casting call. So are you guys going to, because you're all Chris, are you going to, you're not going this year, are you, to CitizenCon? No. So, and I'm not going either, unfortunately. It's just on the same, it's my anniversary with my missus, so you can see how that conversation went.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. But these three guys are all going. So are you guys going to be doing the casting call? So I'm going to bring up the chat now. So for anyone that doesn't know what the casting call is, hang on, let me bring it up. Sorry, I got to push live.
Would you want this ugly mug? And,
So
not
what
really.
it is casting call for a head scanning.
Oh no!
There it is. So Citizen is holding a casting for attendees who wish to have their face appear in the game. So
the history behind this is when we saw them do like a talk about how they get the characters' heads made. They take the actors and they put them inside this sort of 50 SLR camera rig, which just goes all around them. And each camera takes multiple pictures. So they get, or at least one picture, so they get a full HD image of that person's head. And everyone asked them to bring it to events. And we were all like, please bring it to events. We want to get into the game. And they said, it's not likely. It's such a big system to bring that they'll need to employ people to do it. And now they're doing it. Now, I think it's only open to subscribers. Is that correct?
Well, I believe they got like a more mobile version of it, so they can scan heads. Obviously, because there was different tiers, isn't there, of the detail of people's heads. So I think there's something they did to the technology. They managed to make it a little bit more mobile, a little bit, because they've had like pop-up shots in like Manchester and things like that, haven't they, where they've scanned some of the devs and stuff. Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason why they can now move it a little bit easier. I don't think it's subs only, is it? It's just you just have to be attending the event.
Okay, so
already, so you have to have a ticket and attending the event, and then you have to meet the criteria, which is like being clean shaven and stuff.
So it's going to be, I assume, for what they're going to do when it comes to creating your own character in game, is they're going to have multiple heads that you can merge between. You can sort of take a head and then start manipulating that head with certain features like your nose, your lips, your eyes, your mouth. Not to the point that Sol's thinking of right now. Yeah, make a little love child.
Listen,
I was about to say you could.
That would turn into a Wookiee when we make a love child, man.
So that's the question: is if they scan you and they said you can have your face in the game, will they like send you? Do you think they're going to send you like an email to say, hey, if you put this code in, or if you put this information, this will be you, or this is your?
I'm hoping. Sorry, go on, miss.
I was just going to say, that's a good point in terms of, is it going to be an NPC in the game, or is it actually going to be part of that face swap that you're on about, Mac?
Part of the face swap, because they want as many different variations. And the best way to get those variations is to ask as many backers to do it. Otherwise, they're employing people to come in.
So you literally could play yourself?
I really hope so. Go on,
that would be cool.
No need for face swap. Look, seriously.
Sorry, Chris.
Perfection.
There's no perfection there. Listen, so I'm at the moment playing NBA 2K. And there is a app on your phone, and it's a fucking piece of shite. But after 21 tries, eventually you'll get there. And what it does, so you need to hold the camera in front of your face, and you need to move around, and it makes like 14 pictures, 7 of each side, and it puts your face into the game. And you can see other people. So you're in a community hub. With like, I don't know what the max amount of people is, but you can see other people's faces that they scanned as well. So the technology to do that homebrew or however you say it is there. You know what I mean? So do we need the advanced face scan, or
the difference is, Sol, is that the way CIG are doing it.
Fidelity.
I don't want to. I didn't want to say fidelity, but
everyone drink.
The fidelity they are going to is so high that having just webcams take the pictures is not enough. Even for the lowest tiers, they need to have it to a certain. Otherwise, certain people, they'll stand out so much against the average or the lowest tier if you just had people making. Like, I remember back in the days of Pro Evolution when my brother made a picture of himself to play as a player. He looks like a fucking monster. Honestly, I laugh at that today.
I have to be honest, Mac. Yeah, I have to be honest. The way they're doing it now in NBA 2K is such a step forward from like 3-4 years ago, where you could do it in FIFA and where you would upload a picture. The way they're doing it now, and I showed it to Madness this afternoon. I think I was shocked how much that character looked like me.
I'm sure it does look good, but when you consider the difference between 50 SLR cameras,
exactly,
and one webcam taking, it's like, yes, fair. I'm sure that, as you say, that the quality is actually quite good.
It was a tin version of me.
I think that just says everything you need to know, bro. Sol, that's everything you need to. That's everything you need to know.
You can call me Bram if you want to call me Bram, man.
I got stuck in BritizenCon mode, and I'm just keep thinking about BritizenCon, so I keep using because that's where I met you.
He calls me Bram. I love it.
Sol, sorry.
Anyway,
but Chris, what were you going to say about this? Because I'm intrigued what you were going to say.
It's just a case of the more faces they have, the better the merging system will be.
Yeah, no, exactly. The more options you'll have to mix between. I will search through however many they get and find me and put a beard on it and just that's it. I'm done.
Put the beard back. Put the beard back. Because they scan you without the beard. Put the beard. I want the beard back.
Star Citizen is for life. A beard. It takes about 2 months. So, but yeah. So basically, awesome. Talking about this, I'm just going to plug my own self here. Myself, Gamble, Sergeant Gamble, and hopefully Detox, if we can get him encouraged to do so. Do it. We're all going to do
full Todger scan. Is that
a full naked scan of our toddler.
Also, we're getting an explanation in the chat.
Sorry.
From Sherman.
Sherman
there.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I've applied for the application to get my face scanned. I want my face in the game. Now, if I make it or if I don't make it, it doesn't make any difference anymore because I've been coaxed into doing this. But I plan to do a charity stream throughout the weeks.
He's waxing his beard. He's waxing his beard.
Not waxing. We will shave it.
Waxing his beard.
He will be waxing by the end of it.
If myself and Gamble get accepted, we will both shave our beards off and do a charity stream raising funds for Child's Play. I will raise for Child's Play. He can raise for whoever he likes. If we don't get chosen, then I will still shave my beard, but Gamble says he will shave his head because he would rather get rid of his hair than his beard. Go figure. So we will be doing that, and it's going to happen.
Beard's not much of a beard, is it?
It's not a beard.
It's like stubble.
Sounds like he's already got it as a thing he wants to do.
Out.
So not really,
I mean, if he steps out in the wind of this hurricane, it'll blow off.
Sack. I think if he doesn't want to do that, I think he should be the full sack wax. I think that's what it should be. I mean, Gamble might surprise me. He might be a full. He might already be there. He might be a full smoothie. But I mean,
he may be a baby's bottom all over the body. You never know. Yeah, the details will follow. So. We're still going to iron it out, but it'll happen.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I'll look
for a bit. Yeah. Oh my god! Honestly, we're going to have everyone's going to be now wanting full.
There's going to be no beard. The thing is, there's going to be no beards at CitizenCon. There's going to be everyone's going to
probably not.
With the chance of possibly being in. There's going to be beardless.
Everyone's beard is going to be there. I'm not going to shave anything, man.
It'll be the most beardless CitizenCon you have ever gone to.
Oh my god, the knowledge will be limited. Everyone's going to be really stupid.
Mac crack.
The Mac crack and sack.
Can I get a Mac sack and crack, please?
Oh my god! Right. Okay. So the next thing I was going to say is, by the way, I don't know if anyone knows, but Star Citizen has reached 161 million, and it has nearly 1.9 million citizens. So
nearly 2. How close are we to 2?
About 100,000.
Just think of a small proportion of that donated to BritizenCon. No, sorry, just kidding.
Yeah, even 10% would be amazing.
Which is amazing. So, congratulations.
Yeah, it's
congratulations,
cool.
Star Citizen, on being just amazing.
Amazing.
And imagine when 3.0 drops, how many more people are going to be like, oh my god, what is this crazy game that I love and I want to dedicate all my life to?
Thank you very much, Star Citizen, for taking my money.
And stealing my wife.
Okay, so next on the topic of conversation, I'm going to bring this up very quickly. So this is the meme that has been going around and will continue to go around, and this is just going to be just epic, honestly.
Is this no shit?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was so funny because when I watched this live for the first time, and then I was streaming it live with people, and then he did this section and he talks about it, and I've got the video footage. Hang on. Live.
It's the best.
I will play the video.
Best.
I'll play the video so people can hear what he says as well. So
It's even better than this is bullshit.
Hang on, so let's bring it up here so you guys can see.
We got the link to BritizenCon, guys.
Someone can check it in. That would be great. So here we go. Here's the.
We're like, well, this is missing. I need this, and we're like, yeah, no shit. We know it's missing.
He's wearing shorts.
We're working on it right now.
He's got pants. There's no pants on.
Deleted.
I don't have permission to post things.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I'll
Can
permit.
someone permit? Chris?
Someone
Right,
ban
yeah.
Chris.
Sorry. You got to be careful these days. You know, people can put all sorts of stuff on.
We're like, well, this is missing. I need this, and we're like, yeah,
Like
no
BritizenCon
shit, we know
and
it's
stuff.
missing. Kind of like on our task list. We're working on it right now.
Oh, there's also a command for it. That would work.
It hurts your ability to dogfight if you can't see the status of your target.
You can't see the status of his target. Now, I thought that was a little bit of a subtle dig on people such as myself who maybe have been a little bit critical of the Gladius HUD.
It's
and
not.
cockpit and
No.
stuff.
It's the Eva Cotti putting up reports of things that they just personally don't like, rather than what is
Oh,
actually
okay.
good.
I
It's
thought
not
it was
to do with.
getting
No,
a bit
it's-
salty about some of the comments that certain people have been mentioning because he's talking about dogfighting. I think yeah.
No,
I
it's
think
just-
he's
just
been
Eva-
watching Paul.
think-
Pencil is in Pachinki, you know what I mean? I think this is...
Pantless. He's been playing some PUBG, hasn't he?
But I think, yeah, but they have kind of a valid kind of point. If they were talking about the HUDs and maybe it's just the HUDs, but the Gladius is like we'll talk about it in a bit as well. But I'm going to talk about. I don't want to talk about it too much. But the Gladius is a mistake, and they need to just hold their hands up and say, yeah, do you know what? This was the first one we did, and we kind of screwed.
Listen, can I add something to that? Because I knew that when I saw the ATV this week that this was going to be the most shit podcast that we could ever have. Because Madness will be shitting bricks basically.
I was loving it. I couldn't believe it.
What you think is not something that other people might think or that would work for a game, and this is what they choose to go on for, and you have to fucking sit with it. And
Oh no!
what it
But
is.
that was his point. That was
You know
that was
what
what
I
he
mean?
was saying. Is he was going, you know,
yeah.
oh,
And
his
I
opinion-
totally agree. I totally agree with Chris Roberts there. This is
Yeah.
what it's going to be, and stop fucking moaning
But
about it.
it's
and
more
go
Eva
for it,
Cotti.
you know.
It's Eva Cotti putting up opinions on things they don't like, rather than things that are actually worthy of a bug report. So they're just like, I don't like this because.
I think it's pretty funny though, Ryan. I think it's pretty
do you
funny
know
that
what?
Oh,
they're
it's
doing it.
hilarious. I
Do you know
love
what?
it. I'm glad he says that.
That's a problem, though. From my perspective, I go, well, then why haven't they got a situation, a simple solution where they can say, I mean, I don't know. I'm not Eva Cotti. So anyone's here Eva Cotti can say, I mean, I don't know if you can say NDA and all that nonsense, but do they have a system where they can say, yeah? Do they have a situation where they can say, this is some, you know, we've got spectrum for ideas and shit. I know, but for Eva Cotti people, can they say, I've been playing this and I don't like this, and then they can have a section where they say, I've been playing this and this is broken bug. You know what I mean?
What it is,
First,
Madness.
that's
You know
the
what it
problem
is?
is-
Prioritizing.
The problem is Evo Carti realistically are there to bug, to bug report. And now we have opinions. We do have opinions, and it's a little bit difficult because there are some things that you see and you think, well, this isn't very good, or we don't like this. But and everybody's got opinions. We hear it all the time on this podcast. But I suppose technically the bug testing is for that bug testing. We need to give feedback on errors that are coming up, because there are also lots of things where the features have just been introduced. They're not at their 100% how they want them, but it's communication. It's like, well,
You know
they've
what it
released
is?
it. We're not sure whether this is the final pass. Then they turn around and say, well, actually, no, this isn't the final pass. This is an introduction of the system and that sort of thing. But realistically, yes, overall, the actual opinion is the idea of Eva Cotti is to bug test, is to find the bugs, tell them back that these bugs are, or what's happening, that this isn't working. And then I don't know at what point, or whether they actually want feedback at some point.
You know what it is
Hopefully
as
they
well,
do.
Miss, and obviously the community has been rather salty lately. Let's call it that way. You know, we had a lot of complaining, we had a lot of asking.
So only by us. It's not the sort. The
Yeah,
thing is,
but
not
here
all
we
the
are.
community. Only like a very
No,
small vocal
Definitely,
minority are the
but
ones that do that.
we noticed in the ETV three or four, well, let's say a 1.5 month back, that Chris wasn't happy with that small part of the community, let's call it that way, and that felt like it for me at least, and that didn't agree with things or wanted things changed. And then now to see that the backers that, as Miss says, are there to bug test, not to This is not a place to give your opinion. This is a place to give your opinion about bugs, maybe, but not about parts of the game that are missing.
All right, okay, because I'm gonna say something slightly different because I think slightly.
I know you would,
because I do. I just well, I look at it this way. Okay, so Evocati is the very first time that they can look at bugs and they can test things and kind of like see
exactly.
what's broken. Okay, and then you go into PTU, right?
Yeah.
So in PTU, that's pretty much kind of locked down by then. So this is my thing. This is my point: is at what point is this patch effectively locked down in terms of not having any changes? Is it locked down before it goes to Evocati, and all Evocati you have to do, and that's what these guys are saying, is literally your job at Evocati. You cannot implement any change besides physical issues like bugs and problems with the game.
Definitely,
that's all you can do.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a massively missed opportunity early on not to be able to take feedback.
I don't know if that is.
It's for bugs reporting.
I feel like when he says things like that, it's a little bit like saying, it's a little bit of a slap in the face to people who kind of like who are potentially saying, hey, guess what, guys? The HUD is shit. I'm blinded to shit every time I fire my gun in my Gladius. It's fucking awful. Can you go away and Can you fix it ASAP, please?
It kind of is. What they need to do is prioritize the most important bugs compared to the menial bugs that the majority of people will find irritating. Now, if it's a bug that's going to stop people from connecting to the game, it's very important. If it's a bug that people just think, well, that's stopping me from seeing every time I use one ship to do dogfighting, they're not going to see that as important. Now, no offense to anyone, but that's just the way they prioritize it. They need to get the game so that it's in a stable position so that people can jump in and then start getting, that's my
point. Need to know is at what point because what I want to say is what point in this process between Evocati PTU wave 1, 2 to 5 and then going to live, at what point in that instance I get the feeling that in terms of actual like idea changing things, there's nothing we can do. It's already set before it even hits Evocati.
Ideas will change all the time throughout the production. Now, what they need to do, the reason why they have Evocati is to get the game stable enough for the rest of the world to play and to show. They need to make
the feedback comes when everybody's when it releases to the live section. Then everybody's going to give their feedback. I mean, if enough people whinge about the Gladius cockpit, I'm sure that maybe they would listen. But there's still also an element that they put their vision, and if you don't like it, I suppose their opinion is get a different ship. I don't know. I agree a little bit on Madness. There are certain things, if it's terrible, you feel like I need to give feedback on this. I mean, I can only talk from a point of view of testing. I mean, the Evocati, and there are some things I've done. I thought this doesn't feel right. But I think that also the problem is with the Evocati patch, there's also an element where, again, it's the first iteration, so it's not necessarily running as smooth or maybe as perfect as they want anyway. So they just want to get the bugs fixed, get it out there, and then take opinions. I don't know if we've been clearly told that.
That's the thing. That's the thing. This is okay. I'm going to give an example again. I'm sorry, it's the Gladius again. I do apologize. It's the Gladius, but it's my shining example of a fuck up. The Gladius cockpit. They knew. If you notice, they changed. They removed the middle HUD. Okay, which is so that you could see the animation of the gun. First mistake. But what they did though, you could see a circular design in it, and it looks like that. We all speculated that could become the hollow radar, like it is in the Saber. But CIG at no point did CIG confirm that this was the case that I've ever seen anywhere. Now, I could be wrong and someone could correct me and say, hey, man, this actually, they mentioned in the tiniest little subwriting on an email that they sent so-and-so months ago that was the case. But no one's ever really confirmed it. And so for me, it's like, when Chris gets really upset about it, we know this big plan and they don't know the full stories. I'm like, well, people get so. If you could clear up a lot, you talk about communication. If they could have cleared up, up that instantaneously by saying, by the way, the Gladius is going to have the hollow radar in the middle. We just haven't shown it to you yet.
What Madness? Do you agree with me that for you,
sorted in seconds?
Yeah. But do you agree with me that this for you could be a massive issue, and for CIG they think,
what's that?
We don't give a fuck. So you see the Gladius cockpit as a very big issue, which is fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion.
I don't see it as I see it as I see at the end of the day. Look, they said that the Gladius is going to be their HOTAS number 1. So this is their first. This is their template for the basics that they're going to build on. So yes, it is important to me and probably to everyone.
But
it's the foundation.
What I'm trying to say is, for them, the Gladius cockpit might not be a big issue, and you're entitled to your opinion. You know what I mean? They have bigger issues to tackle than let's say 1.2% of the people that think that the Gladius cockpit is shit at the moment. Don't you think they have bigger?
It's more than just that. I don't want to go into a massive conversation about it.
The cockpit of the Gladius will be addressed, I expect, later on if enough people say something about it. But right now, that's not the priority for getting 3.0 out to the rest of the backers. If they focus on every little thing like the Gladius cockpit,
that's what I mean,
something else, then we would never get 3.0 for the next so many months. They have to prioritize the more vital bugs that are holding up the game to the rest of us, and then address things like the cockpit. And like I say, Matters, if enough people complain, and I agree with you with the cockpit of the Gladius, that gun in the front with all that flare is ridiculous. That wouldn't make any sense in a logical world, to have yourself blinded by your own weapon. Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't matter as much at the moment, does it? You know.
No, exactly. If enough people complain about it when the time is right, they will address it. Exactly. Right now, it's just about getting the game ready for the majority of players. And I'll back you on that one, Madness. When the game comes out to the rest of us and we all start putting tickets up, the cockpit of the Gladius needs to be reflected from the gun. I'll back that, definitely. I don't agree with it.
I think the difficulty is I can't remember, but I don't think there's enough communication. I suppose we felt like being given the test of it is that you feel that you should give feedback as well as bug report. Okay, so there's some things that are just so clunky, but it's probably the case is we shouldn't be. It should be just this is a bug, fix this please, this is a bug. And then when it's released to the general public, when it's released to the PTU open wide, or maybe even when it's released to live, then they'll get the general feedback from people and then address it that way, I think.
Can I just say something, yeah? So if you look at that picture, are people moaning about that flash in between the...
Yeah, the weapon, the Gatling gun.
The weapon,
yeah.
For fuck's sake, fucking... And you know what?
Wait, Sol, that's not what they're all complaining about. That's not what the problem that Chris is on about. That's just, one issue that...
That's one issue that we're just bringing up. And I was just using it as... I'm just curious
as an
about
example.
The process. I'm using it as an example as something they could have fixed on communication in terms about the radar in the middle. The flashing gun thing, that's just something I know for a fact that you said will be something that we could potentially address later. I completely disagree with you, Sol. I think these things are important. I think we have to raise these issues because at the end of the day, it's the way that they
raise them, man.
No, listen, it's the way that they are thinking when they're building this type of vehicle for this type of specific thing, and they need to hear the feedback from combat pilots to say, "Hey, this is a bad idea." If you want to put animations as a priority, fine, stick them in civilian ships where people aren't doing anything realistically important. That's potentially fine, and then see how they react.
I totally agree.
The thing is that
hang on, Sol. Let's see what Chris says.
Go on, Chris.
The thing is that Evocati, they're for testing subjective feedback. It's literally to get the bugs done so that they can get it through to live.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because it shouldn't be a long process. Subjective feedback is going to take a long time for them to filter through. And all you do is you delay the process. By getting it through to live, you're then fixing any actual bugs faster. You're getting it through to more people faster. You then, on the live server, have a larger set of subjective feedback, but you also have a larger set of metrics that they're getting through from the server.
Yeah.
You're also, then you don't have a two-tier system of backer feedback as well, because if you have a situation where they're responding to the subjective feedback from the Evocati, then that's already an opinion put in before everybody else gets a chance to have their say.
And don't forget that the Evocati are asked to specifically look in certain areas for certain... Like, at the moment, it is only based on navigation and traversal of the system. So getting in your ship, traveling across, quantum jumping, making sure that works well. They've not been asked to look at anything else other than that until the next Ivocati build is ready and implemented. So by highlighting other issues that are not to do with that, it's kind of taking away from the main aim of the actual testing at the moment.
So do you think, at the end of the day, if this has become obviously a bit of a problem for them, do you not think they need to maybe look at their Ivocati, the way that their people are publishing things, to try and
I'm sure they will.
Either educate Ivocati more and say, hey, look, guys, you need to, like you were saying, and Chris said it there, and maybe just kind of say again on an email to every Ivocati people saying, look, guys, you need to stop. No longer, please don't post anything. This just focus purely on bugs. We'll get to the subjective stuff later, or you can post it here. Please post it on the Spectrum feedback thingy when it goes to PTA or something. Or I personally think they should have something for them to post. I think that's important that they do, because you naturally, when you feel something, like you talk about feeling, Miz, it's so important. Like games, the way a game feels and things feel, and it doesn't always stay there. And you need to write that shit down. You need to put that stuff somewhere. It's important.
Yeah, it's worth writing down. But the thing is that you also have to accept that it's not going to change before it gets to live. So you note it down for yourself, so that when it gets to live, you then submit it.
Talk specific, but there is one thing that's changed that I would say wasn't a bug, but it was subjective, and they've changed it. So it's difficult saying that when under the same breath we've given something that we feel is not a game breaker, but just it's annoying enough to feel that it's not comfortable playing that way, that they have changed it. So it's hard him saying, no, don't give us this, and then they've literally changed something in the build to make something just run a lot smoother. So they have changed something. I can't, like I said,
but it also depends on what they're looking for that particular build as well. It depends on how quickly things are to adjust. It's a very complex situation.
And it's difficult to test.
What I wanted to say earlier, as a Ivocati, you know that you are there to beta test the build that they give you. You know that's what you know that when you sign up for that shit. If you're then gonna start moaning about other stuff that is irrelevant to that build or to that point, or maybe for a later point it's more relevant, there's no point in putting that in, is there? You know, I've beta tested for games before. Me questioning future patches or things that have changed. There's no fucking point in there, is it? You know, that's not what the Ivocati. That's not what the Ivocati is for.
It seems like it's not really black and white, though. We want it to be black and white, but it's not really black and white. There's a little bit of grey has to be thrown in there.
I suppose
they need to think of the way they.
I think there needs to be a point, as you say, Madness, where people can pose their feedback. Ivocati can pose their feedback, but you can't do that in tickets that are meant for, because then you create an issue. It's only taking CIG more time to filter out all the nonsense or what they feel is nonsense, and we might think different. You know what I mean? But at this point, what is most important is that build and getting that build out there. And changes can be made. You know, if Chris Roberts changes his mind tomorrow, he's going to change it as well. You know, and we've seen in the past, Pantelis and Pochinki. We've seen in the past that we've raised things and they've adhered. Is that the right word? Adhered to it. They listen to it and change it. You know what I mean? It's something that is.
Yeah, they will get to and address everything that we
exactly.
That we have a problem with. Whether or not they change it is a different thing. It depends on more based on the fun, the realism, how they feel about it. But things like the Gladius, if you bring that up, Madness, they will address it if enough people make a complaint about it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully what they'll do is they'll have maybe a different. At the moment you submit bugs, maybe they'll do a different one where you submit feedback. That'll probably be the best way of doing it. And then they can have someone specifically looking at feedback and saying what's coming up as a real hot topic on feedback, and then what's coming up as hot topics of bugs to fix. Because there are certain flows, certain feedback that is needed. There's a difference between saying I don't like the way the Gatling gun looks in the Gladius to, you know, I don't like how this flows. You know, your whole waking up and situation starts. So feedback is not needed. It's very different and different subjective to different people. But yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Kind of have two different forums, one for feedback, one for bugs.
But the other thing that they should be doing, probably are doing, is to actually look through the quality of feedback and reports that they're getting from their Evocati testers, and they should routinely be inviting more people in and kicking some people out if they're not getting what they want from them.
Yeah,
I think that's a very good one that Chris raises there. If people are people make mistakes, but if you maybe ask them and say, okay, boys, this forum is, or this place, or whatever you like to call it, is for bug reporting on this build. If you keep on doing this, 3 strikes and out, and because there's more than enough people that are very willing to be beta testers, to shut up about it, to sign.
It's not a matter of willing, though, is it? It's a matter of actually if they're any good at reporting, because to
Exactly.
report a bug, you've got to be super thorough, and you've got to go through a hell of a lot of process and redo it and try and recreate it.
But Mike, do we have a selection process at the moment? Do we say do they pick people on their quality at the moment for Evocati?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then you
And like you say, yeah,
do
I
it in the
agree with
future
what
as
you're
well.
saying,
You
yeah.
know,
I
You do that in
expect
the future as well.
if someone keeps giving more opinion than actual beneficial reports based on what they're looking for, they will change
yeah.
to someone else. Yeah.
I think that's better, and you know what I mean. I say willing, you know what I mean. But there's more than enough people that put the bugs in, that are able to do these sort of things, than just random people that are constantly they're not really beta testing. Maybe even say that, and I don't know the percentages, and we will probably never know that. I think that there is a percentage of Evocati members that are not even online at the moment. You know what I mean? That they might be there.
Well, real life does get in the way of people. Yeah.
Oh, of course, but how do you determine that? Because that would make room for future testers. Again, you know what I mean. You have a better flow.
They always change the Evocati testers. I don't know. I'm not an Evocati tester.
Okay.
I have more idea whether he can talk about it. I don't know. But they will always bring in new ones and take out old ones depending on their commitment, I expect.
That's good to know.
I'm going to, if anyone else has anything else burning that they want to say, I'm going to move us on to the next topic.
Move on.
So the next topic of conversation, which I'm going to push live now, is something really cool, and I think we're all going to get super excited for, which is the picture of the Reclaimer.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sexy.
Don't show Reclaimer's better than a Starfarer.
So look at the size of it.
I know, I was about to say, look at the size of the damn thing.
So this
I
is
mean, that's a Starfarer. It's just eating it for breakfast.
Hang on, let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit to try and show the... I'm going to zoom right in. We can kind of see the scale of the person there. That's the person there. And that's the scale of it. Now, it's definitely one of the most well-hung ships in the game.
Crazy.
Yeah, but look at... I mean... That does obviously. I still want to see them show me the animation of that actually doing something. I actually want to see. I want to see the animation of the hand grabbing a ship. I want to see that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Even white box. It can be dirty, filthy. I want to see that. But it does look fantastic, and they could. The sooner they get these other types of things into the game, like in terms of other professions and stuff, the more exciting and the more fulfilling the game will become. The faster it will just take off. They have to get. At the moment, like I say, dogfighting and a little bit of cargo running is not going, and messing around is not going to keep people interested in the game for.
No, and it's also going to. A lot of people are worried about like PvP and so forth. I know you've got your own opinion on this madness.
I'm worried about this. Yeah. I'll talk about it.
But the fact is, the Star Citizen as a whole is not going to be a PvP game. It's not going to be players fighting players. That's not the intention for the game. It's going to be people living and breathing in a universe, doing cargo runs, mining, salvaging. It's not. The only reason why everyone thinks of it as a PvP is because that's all there is to do right now, and that's all there has been since the last 4 years. The game will change, and over time you'll see people being less interested in PvP because they'll want to take part in jobs like salvaging, like in the Reclaimer. So it's going to change. The game will change its feeling as a whole greatly once these mechanics start coming in. And I, for one, just cannot wait. I can't beat Madness. I've tried. I failed.
You even
Trader
tried to
pals.
bring friends in as well, you cheeky bugger. He's like, I'm going to fight you, Madness.
I don't
With
wanna tell
5
him
of
about
my
that.
friends as well. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, that was quite funny. But no, but I agree with you, and I also, as a PvP person, I don't want to just have to play PvP. Even all the PvP people that I know, some of the die-hard ones, that's all they're going to do all day long, every day. That's all they're going to do. And I like to do other things besides PvP. I do like to do the missions now and again. I like to mix it up. I'm going to do cargo running. I'm going to want to do smuggling and bounty hunting and farming and reclaiming. I want to do all of these things. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm not excited about 3.0 as much as I am about the 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. That's, for me, is where more of the game. 3.0 is just going to be the basics, and it's going to be 24 people with 3 moons, with how many bases, with huge amount of distance between me and other people. I'm going to be spending probably most of my dogfighting back in Arena Commander whilst I wait for 3.1. Honestly, it's the truth. I can't expect. I'm not expecting to see anyone unless I organize it with friends. I'm not expecting to see anyone really for dogfighting. It's going to be.
You can use the time to train for the competition at
That's what I'm going to be
BritizenCon.
doing. That's literally all I'm going to be doing is practicing for that. Yeah, no, absolutely.
You will have people like I would want you on my team defending me against people wanting like pirates.
Against who? There'll be no one to defend you against.
team.
There's going to be no one around.
Team Mac.
It's going to be empty.
I'll get pom-poms and everything for you, Madness.
Oh yeah,
True.
no.
There will always be opportunities to dogfight. If it's even against UI, not UI, PvP, PvE. I know PvE is shit for actual good dogfighters because it's like toying with an ant or a fly with no wings.
They're smart, but it's not as rewarding. You don't get the salt unless they actually implement the AI where the computer sends salt through text. That would be fantastic.
They are actually building up the subsumption system. So maybe have you played Armor? I mean, you go up against the AI in Armor, your headshotted every time. So there is a chance that you will have competition in PvE, and I'm sure they will make it so that they are the top target. The best.
What?
Go on.
Do you know what? I agree with you. And I think you're absolutely. I think if they can make NPCs feel more and more human with AI and subsumption, then it will bridge the gap potentially of where you might not meet humans, and it would satisfy to a degree. Because if I can have subsumption type of AI and like I said, chat, and they've got. Did you notice? Have you seen on the HUDs? I don't know if anyone's seen it, but there's when on one of the videos, I can't remember who it was, but actually on ATV, I think it was, they show that you can actually have comms.
Yeah,
there's a comm button now, so potentially you could have like the pirates do the video, the talk to you and give you a bit of salt and give you a little bit of that.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, rather than the constant British. I hate it when they fight back.
Yes,
That's
exactly. Yeah, like
Is that your best British accent,
more
Mac?
diverse. Thank you. I put that on.
Yeah, exactly. No, I would love them to see them really work on that side of things.
I think they will have like a level of like for you, especially as a really good dogfighter. I'll big you up.
He's so kind, honestly. Wow, my head's not gonna be able to fit out of the box.
Yes.
I'm not that good. I'm okay. I'm just the champ.
But they will have. Sorry, Sol.
Oh, go ahead.
Hang on, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. They will have AI that are to your standard, if not better, in order to keep you entertained. Because it's not going to be a case of just jumping in and being able to kill everyone. Like if like in like Skyrim, you level up, they level up with you, and you get better, and blah blah blah. They get better. It's going to be a case of you. It's more like The Witcher. Some missions you won't be able to actually do because the AI will force you out of the mission. So we will need people who are good at dogfighting, and you could probably charge quite a good premium as a decent dogfighter, semi-decent, to come and fight alongside them. Like I would happily hire you to do dogfighting for me, provided I can trust you not to turn against me.
He's a bit of a dirty dog.
He sounds like it.
Coming back on what I wanted to say. So we were talking about communication earlier. I only want to come back on it briefly. I was reading a Twitter post of you guys know the makers of The Witcher 3 CD Projekt Red.
The guys are doing
personally.
Yes. He brought out this beautiful letter to their backers. Have you seen it? Where they basically tell everyone to shut the fuck up because they're busy making a game. it was
Nice.
beautiful. It
Nice.
basically said like, okay, normally we wouldn't respond, but this and this and this, and we're making
Yeah,
a
I'm a
fucking
tit.
game, and just shut the fuck up, and we'll get there when it comes, And I
Beautiful.
think that's a great way of doing comms, Just falling back on quickly on that one, and just.
But actually, yeah, talking about comms in Star Citizen, they have that now. We saw it in the Gamescom demo. What's Gamescom? Was it?
They did it in the very Gamescom last year, 2016, where they had the guy talking the what's it called, the
Mobiglass.
In the Mobiglass, but they had it on the screen talking to you when you were landing. I forget who there's a shorthand for the landing person. God, it's literally on the tip of my tongue.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
It's called the lettering, like. Oh,
the flight
landing something or other.
What do they call it?
FTs. Oh fuck! Someone
flight director.
Flight control.
Flight control something or other. Yeah. You know what I'm on about, but it's...
ATC.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean? He's like, yes, ATC. What the fuck does that mean?
I recognise it.
Air traffic control.
Traffic.
But that would work with
around the
players as well. So
Nexus to the rescue.
Bring it up, and thanks Nexus. Appreciate that. You'll be able to have your own friends communicating on screen. Now, maybe not 3.0. I don't know if they're bringing that into 3.0. I doubt it. I think they said it's not going to be in 3.0. Is the communications, but
it's not going to be.
Being able to talk face to face with your friends, it's so cool. And with the VoIP, I'm going to be like,
mine's going to be weird. It's going to be a girl talking with a man voice.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be weird.
Hello. I might have to pixelate the face.
My ship,
but can't you get like a voice controller where you can change the actual
have a pitch? Have
a pitch controller,
voice modulator. Yeah.
Yeah, you should do that, Madness. If you're that serious about being a girl.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you doing?
That would be so weird.
I mean, it just feels all wrong. It's all wrong.
That's a whole new different series.
Can I ride in your cockpit?
Woo! Pull over.
I would like to get hold of your stick.
I'll wait till you've moved on.
Scared Mac away. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So actually, whilst we guys are here, because I was going to say, so 3.0 represents the foundation for Star Citizen. Okay, relatively speaking, it's going to be almost complete, and it's going to be quite exciting, obviously, for next year in terms of all this new stuff. But there's also going to be new CPUs and GPUs coming out in the next year or so, especially new virtual reality technology as well. So we should see. I'm worried because they do like a bit of the feature creep at Star Citizen, and when new technology comes in, it's like, oh, quick, we can kind of throw this in there. Because I've said before, and I'll say it again, is I actually think that the fact that they solved the planetary procedural so quickly and did it in such a great way is actually being a bit of a hindrance to the game, and it's actually slowed it right down. I feel like we would actually have more of a space game probably by now, and actually have a lot more of content to play versus what we have now because of the procedural coming in so early. That's my feeling on it. I actually think we would have more. We'd probably have mining by now. We'd probably have even potentially farming and all. Who knows what else we could have by now if the procedural planets wasn't solved. So I'm worried, what happens with the new CPUs and GPUs coming in? What do you think? Do you think this is going to have a knock-on effect, going to delay us even further? Is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing?
Well, the new gen has been coming for a while, right? How long have we known about it? I think half a year now. That
do they get access to it before us?
The founders card from AMD has been out for a while now, and those are the cards that all the Asus EVGA are going to build on and make their versions on. But the official AMD card of the new gen is out. I don't know how far Intel is with that stuff. But we're looking at, I think, at 16 gigs, I think, minimum, or 32 gigs. We're going that way now. I hope not, because it all depends as well, Madness, and this is a question I don't want to ask it. When is the game coming? When is the official release? Is it going to be? Yeah, exactly. So the 1080s TIs of this, they don't matter at that point, I think, anymore. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Stop trying to buy it to run it unless you want to play it now.
Sorry,
the thing is, all the new cards use Vulkan and DX12. that's going to be in for quite some time. I mean, they haven't even implemented that yet.
No.
In the game.
No.
So I would expect that would be a sort of slow burn development. And you're not going to see saturation on the capabilities of those drivers for quite some time.
Okay, it's good to know. That's good.
They are always pushing the tech, CIG, and they're also building the game to a point where they can expand on it through the years. So as tech evolves, the game will evolve with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a case like an old game now where the graphics are now stuck for whatever. They're going to keep introducing new graphics,
Well, there's been games like EverQuest 2 and things like that have had revamps like down the line to catch up with technology. Maybe not to that extent, but they do try to work on things. So hopefully, like CIG and Star Citizen will follow that trend.
Yeah,
in terms of
that's a lot of the reason why it's taking so long to get it out.
Yeah, we don't want them to keep doing it before the game's released. We'd like to get the game, but
true,
I do think they will update it. I don't know if this is the kind of point you was making, Madness, but there is also a big debate, but a lot of people's opinions in terms of if it was stayed more of a space game, we would have more of it done by now. Because I do feel a little bit like they got ahead on the planetary tech and got so excited about it. Oh wow, we've managed to get this planetary tech working, that they've then focused off of the space game and zoomed in on the planetary tech to get that kind of working and in the game. So they've not taken a back seat, the space stuff, but it's kind of been
an addition
to kind of run alongside it. Whereas if they'd kept more with the base game with their initial vision, maybe we would have more available. I think they got extremely excited with the planets being when they worked out the technology for it to work, I think.
But the thing is that they had to build out the cities anyway. And all the planetary tech has allowed them to do is to do the extra points of interest. I'm not convinced that has taken that much of an additional time, because all the outposts are using a standard tile set.
Do you know when they actually started the Frankfurt studio in a way to look into the planetary tech? So the game itself hasn't been held up. It's the actual planetary tech came along far quicker than anyone ever expected it to. When Frankfurt created it, they were even shocked. Like Chris himself was shocked.
That's kind of my point, though, in the sense that I think that they had other things already kind of roadmapped, and then this suddenly happened really quick. And
it could be, but don't forget when they go to the very basics of when they were talking about the game, they said, "Shall we take what we have already and make the game based on the funding we have, or shall we take the funding that we are ever increasing and make a much better game?" And one of the first credits on the thing is we're always going to redo things to make the game better. So if that was the case, then remove planetary tech. How many people will be excited for the game? A lot, don't get me wrong, but the fact they're going to have planetary tech is a big added bonus.
But the thing is, the planetary tech has also enabled a lot of fundamental technology elsewhere, because it's enabled the zoning system, and the zoning system doesn't just apply to planetary tech. It allows them to have better scalability elsewhere in the game. And so by working on those sort of things and implementing it, you're actually making the rest of the game more future-proof, even though it looks at the moment that it's taking longer. So yes, we could have got a space game sooner, but at some point down the road, when they get to the point of getting to the more advanced stuff, they'd have to redo that all anyway. And actually doing it at a later point would take them longer. They'd have more stuff to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, true.
Yeah.
That's why we have the conversation, guys, is to kind of talk it out and kind of like see sense and just kind of like understand things. So yeah, thank you, Chris. That was very, very, very good answer. I enjoyed that answer. That was very cool.
Very informative.
Does anyone else want to speak on this, or should we move on to the next?
Roll it on.
So we roll in, keep this,
Roll it on.
Rolling.
So something
Keep
else I'm
those
excited.
wagon wheels
I like to throw
rolling.
in bits about spaceships. So you guys probably had it the other day. So I don't know if you guys talked about it last. Did you talk about the Carrack last week at all? Just let me know.
We left it off because I know how much you love to talk about spaceships and their cockpits.
There's nothing to do with any of us.
So this was the live. So when I watched this because I enjoyed watching them making the Space Whale, which was really fun. And
But I wanted to finally tell you, the Anvil Carrack is in
Madness?
Wow. The Anvil Carrack is being worked
Yeah,
on.
the
We are updating
the
the
space
white
whale was
box
cool.
interiors
It looked a
for
bit more like a
right now.
fish, but it was
So,
I enjoy seeing
doesn't
them
mean
do
we have
that though. I
anything to
do
show
enjoy
you yet.
seeing them
We're-
working and showing them the tools that they use to make stuff for the game.
Well, it was the Space Whale they did, but it was at the end of the show. Disco announced that the Carrack is
going into production.
It's being grey boxed, white box. Sorry.
It was also on the monthly report because they brought, obviously now that we're not getting the monthly, like each weekly ATV update for each studio, the monthly reports are actually worth reading, because before with each studio update throughout the weeks, the monthly report just basically covered everything that was already said in ATV. But now that we're getting the burn down instead, the monthly report had a massive update on all the ships that are being produced. And yes, the Carrack has started production, and how long it will take is another question. I know that was destined for 2018, which is still likely to be the case, with it only being 3 months left of 2017. But the fact that it's being started is, very exciting. It's one of the most, probably the most, that and the Banu Merchantman is the most look forward to ship. And the fact
between the both, that's what you hear the most, isn't it? Both of them
Carrack
two.
and Banu. That's
it's become a meme.
Honestly, if they were to show us, if they showed us, pretty much near completed models in the next couple of months, I think the community would just be like overjoyed. I think in terms of, and they gave us.
Do you guys agree with me, Madness? And I'm not a fan of the space whales. Yeah. Or that sort of Himalaya spiders coming out people's crotches and that sort of shite. Wouldn't you rather see, and it doesn't have to be a new ship, but how previous ships came together, for example, on a Friday evening? So instead of seeing people making space whales, I would love to see the process. How has the Gladius come together, or how has and maybe we've seen it in the past.
They do show us that in the normally when we get the studio.
Yeah. But I would love to see, and I would sit down for an hour and watch them. Okay, like this is the reason we did it. This is how we do it. This is how we make spaceships, instead of these weird creatures. It's just my opinion.
It's the community that choose it. It's the community that choose what we see.
Yeah.
It's voted on Spectrum as to what we want to see on Happy Hour.
The
Whale got the most votes.
Okay.
The other thing is that organic things, because they're sculpting them, they're faster to do. To create a ship on stream, you wouldn't get an appreciable amount of content at the end of the hour.
I wouldn't completely say make a new ship on stream, but show us how the process has been done beforehand.
Well, the process.
West did one, and it took him like 12 hours. I think he's got he's done a YouTube video of it, and he did it in SketchUp. And so if anyone hasn't seen West Sage, go and give him a follow on YouTube. But he did a I don't know if it was a Connie or something like that, and he broke the video up. But he literally streamed it, and I think it took him 12 hours plus to do a ship.
Because
now you're not going to see anything.
Ships take a long time to develop because they have a specific pipeline that they go through in order to ensure that every aspect of the ship's development adheres to the quality, the fundamental groundwork for that ship. You know, like item 2.0, the damaged LODs, everything. There's a lot of work in ship.
It's more than one team as well. It's not just one group of
Yeah,
people.
that's true.
It's all sorts of different people work on different parts.
I would love to see making ofs though, or something, later when the ship has come out.
They have done an ATV of how they go through the ship pipeline. I mean, I've covered a video I've done a video myself on the ship pipeline. Not for every ship, but I agree with you. It would be cool to see every ship.
I would love to see that sort of shit.
Go through some of the older ATVs and ship shapes and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and it covers that sort of thing. But I mean, For even a small ship like one of the new Origin, was the small Origin ship runabout? I can't remember.
85X? Is that what
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even that from start to finish took 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a quick process.
Yeah, that's people working on it for a full working day, for a full working week, for 2 months. It's not a quick process.
But
so
in my opinion, I actually like seeing the creatures because these are the sort of things that's going to be making the planets and the moons feel alive. And I'm interested in seeing creatures and flying things and dogs or whatever the hell they're making on there. To me, that is interesting. I've seen ships all the bloody time. So for my personal opinion, I do like to see some of the organics.
Yeah, I
agree.
I like it when, if you were talking about ships and stuff, you want to see new designs. I think the only way you could potentially do it is if you saw the concept artist draw concepts beforehand.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be like, because Jay Lee he did a live stream with like the shipjacker and painting and some of the
well, he does it all the time, and me as an artist, I lean a bit more towards it. I love to see that, you know. I love to see how a character comes together. I think he did Eden as well in some sort of a,
that would be fun. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see more of the characters and the costumes and the designing of the uniforms and the spacesuits and all that.
I'm not a fan of the.
It has to be concept. It can't be modelling. Modeling's too long.
Jay Lee did it. Jay Lee did it with I think some sort of a space monkey kind of a gorilla.
Yeah, and that was
pretty cool. It's organic again, yeah, but that was pretty cool. But a fucking fish.
Yeah, you can.
They do have a lot
it's just
of
my
plans
opinion.
for
Sorry,
Happy
guys.
Hour.
I'm just
There's a lot of other stuff they're planning for Happy Hour, like how the ship pricing is going to take shape. That's another thing they're going to put into a Happy Hour. I think they get so many opportunities and options for Happy Hours that it's just a case of picking it out. Yeah, and I like you guys. I actually like seeing the aliens. I love to see the aliens. Space Whale, yeah, I can understand. It's a bit like. Again, it's more of a meme. It's a novelty. It's not 100% likely, but certain creatures like the spider bug, the vandal dog, these things may make it into the game. They may actually make it into the game, and I think if they do, seeing them at that early stage, when you actually see them as an early backer, will be like, fucking awesome.
If you want to see
go for it.
Concepts of a ship being drawn, what's the name of the guy who did the Mustang?
Not Chris.
Somebody. Martin.
I don't know.
Martin. Somebody.
I don't know who designed
Martin.
It was probably when you say the name.
Germac. Was it Germac?
No. Surname begins with H, I think.
Oh.
Martin. Somebody.
I'm sure chat will help us out eventually.
Oh. Yeah. Chat, tell us who designed the Mustang. What's his name?
We can Google it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So he did a video.
So that chap, he one of the ATVs, I think, or even its predecessor. He did a time lapse of doing the concept design for the Mustang.
Right.
Which was fascinating to watch if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, which is kind of what Westside did for his. It's cool. It's good.
But I certainly
see that.
I certainly recommend for that sort of content going back through some of the older videos and seeing what they have, because some of it hasn't changed from the old process to the new. So other than the fact that it's a new ship or you have a new person drawing it, there's not much point in them redoing the video.
Also, depending.
No, that's true. Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah, they're just slightly different shape, but they're still the processes are the same.
Okay. Does anyone else want to add this? Because we're running really. I'm going to just late.
We don't have to.
We started over
skip stuff.
But I'm just going to we'll go over very quickly the cockpit
Okay,
very,
let's
very
do it.
quickly. Just the highlights, basically. So I'm just going to bust
the
it.
awesome ATV that
The
was
awesome
the
ATV.
cockpit.
There was some really interesting things for us to talk about, but we'll have to keep it pretty tight, lads, on the chatting. So let's
yeah, cool.
let's I'm just going to bust it out, and then everyone just gives a bit of feedback, and then we'll roll on to the next one.
Yep.
We'll do it that way.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
So
Nope.
We
Nope.
could just
Yep.
end the podcast and say, guys, we'll see you next week.
so
Keep going. Come on.
let me
Right,
bust
let's
it
do the
over.
cockpit.
So here we go. So this is the first. So this is animations within the cockpit for damage states. So they've obviously added fire and sparks, and they're just kind of. I think the idea of this is to show directional damage to the ship. So obviously to try and improve the experience when you're in the cockpit. Someone's shooting you.
Cockpit's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's in the left-hand side shooting at you. Someone's shooting at you from behind. I thought this was quite. I'll tell you my view, and then you guys can run with it. So for me personally, I have to see it myself to really see if it actually works, because the idea of having more things going on in my face just seems like it's just going to be more of a distraction. I personally would love, rather than just operate with a HUD that gives me a much clearer 3D-dimensional kind of view of my ship and the radar. So when someone's shooting me from the background, the shield lights up in red, so I can see and go, oh, there's a dickhead shooting me from the back, rather than some flames whistling past my ear and then some smoke underneath my crotch is telling me that there's somebody underneath me maybe shooting me. Do you know what I mean?
Fire behind your head either, right?
Like flames.
I think this is just damage states.
Well, no. They talked about, if you listen to it, Sol, they talk about how they want to try and the actual damage will will indicate potentially where you're being shot from and stuff. So
that's a bit weird, right? That was what I was thinking the other. I think it's. I see. I think it's good to see a damage state, or with the whistling stuff, like pipelines broken, that sort of stuff. But indication where you're shooting from, I totally agree, man. Is it needs to be some shield thing, not a fucking flamethrower coming out of your fucking dashboard. You know what I mean?
I think I agree. I think Madness and I was talking about it the other day in terms of it would be nice to actually just have a sort of hologram of your ship to actually see where things are being hit, and you can just see it flashing in different directions, and all this getting hit from there. I mean, this damage states definitely. If this is what more it is, you definitely good to have damage states.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty. It adds some drama.
But I think the problem we all got at the moment, isn't it, is you don't actually know you're being hit sometimes. And again, them damage states aren't going to tell you if you're getting hit in the rear of your ship. And there's no point...
Sorry, the in-cockpit damage states aren't based on where you're being hit. They're based on the overall health of your ship. So if you take a certain amount of health of damage, then the cockpit effects will start happening. When it comes to actual location, you're going to see sparks in your cockpit bouncing off from the location of where the actual hits are coming from. And I think the HUDs will demonstrate more about where it's happening. But the in-cockpit effects are based on when your ship gets to a certain state of health. They're not going to be telling you where the hits are coming from. They're going to be saying the fire
is. It's going to be to tell you that, oh my god.
No, it's not.
You're going to get out. It's going to explode. Kind of
the fire. If you get shot in the back of your ship, you're not suddenly going to get a fire at the front of your ship.
That would be a bit weird, right?
Yeah,
that's what I just said. That would be
but you're going to get smoke and you're going to get sparks and shit coming from behind you. That's from what I understand. This is where.
But it will have an effect that much, but it will be based more on. I don't think you'll have many cockpit fires, smoke, steam, anything until you reach a certain level of health on your cockpit, which will then tell you that okay, now you need to start thinking about your ship's health. Because physically, you're going to be singeing your eyebrows.
You need to fuck off and go home.
There's two different parts of it, isn't there? There's the indication of where you're being hit, and then there's a damage state.
Yeah, and they will be separate
chat
until you reach a certain point.
So I mentioned that basically it's Revok said it's like an indication of when you need to get the fuck out of your ship.
But there will also be, your HUD will also indicate where you're being hit from. That will eventually become a thing. Because at the moment, it doesn't really dictate where the fire is coming in. And Battlefield, you get a little hit marker as to where it's happening. So the HUDs will, I expect, in time, translate this information to you. Because you need to know, quite instinctively,
where
you're being fired upon.
Someone's peppering the fuck out of you from behind. You need to know that you're getting shot at, rather than just wait till you blow up. which is what the case is at the moment. I sit there thinking, well, I'm not getting hit here. I'm doing pretty well when I'm dogfighting, and next thing you know, I'm just blown up because my ship's been shot to shit.
I love these damage states, though. They're really.
This is the smoke. This is when they were talking about, someone shooting you.
It's
in
the
back,
air, yeah, the smoke or the
the
air.
directional damage. You'll take things to try and help indicate where you're being shot from. So, like you were saying, Mac, if you're getting shot in the ass consistently, it should, in theory, you should be seeing a bit more things behind you happening. Round about your.
You do need to have that information, because if you're being fired upon, you don't want to be like, what the fuck's going on? Where. Yeah, you need to get that information, and the HUD will be the main thing for that. I think when you get to like maybe 50%, you'll start seeing smoke power into your ship. It won't ever cover your view too much. And then after maybe 75%, you'll start getting flames.
Don't get too excited. They love to show us cinematic animations. They love their animations. CIG.
This is just cinematic. This is implemented into the actual game. I think they said that they're working on more cinematic views before they start making it an actual part of the damage states. So they say they're working on it more as an aesthetic to see how it feels before they actually implement it.
Would be wicked, and I said this on my stream the other day, would be wicked for this. Well, just for me anyway, I think it would be wicked. If they had, like when I'm dogfighting, if they showed you like a bar, for example. So obviously flames is going to be using up oxygen, okay, within the cockpit, right? So it's going to be sucking up flames. Anyone knows anything? Fire in space is not a good thing. It'll be using up your oxygen in your things. So if your oxygen, because obviously everything's going to have stamina bar, for example, in the ship. So unless you plug yourself in, it'd be interesting to see if there's a health bar. So there's an animation within the ship where you have to grab the fire extinguisher to put the fire out. So if you're like fighting in a dogfighting situation, you have to watch your health bar kind of drop, monitor that whilst dogfighting, and then you need to try and kill something. The good ones will be able to kill the guy really quickly or within a short space of time, and then fly away from the fight, and then get your extinguisher to put out the fire to keep yourself alive a little bit, to kind of stop the oxygen, and then maybe plug yourself in to get the oxygen from the ship. Or I love all the idea of those little extra things to make it a bit more, your life's draining away and you've got time.
I mean, we're looking at like single fighters here, but I mean, on a multi-crew ship in the bigger ship, these fires and things are definitely going to be more prominent, and then it'll give the crew something to do, because they've said a while back that them fires and stuff is something that they're going to have to be put out.
They've created a fire crew uniform for, I think, the Idris or the Javelin in Squadron 42. There is actually a crew member, like AI crew, inside.
That's a boring fucking job if there's no fire, isn't it? They're just going to sit there in their fireman's outfit.
You'd just be there smoking, won't you? Being like, please, fucking ignite.
Someone fucking take damage, because I'm bored to shit on this journey.
The fire is coming.
Redeemer has about 8 fire extinguishers, so
only 8.
Have a plan for it, or something like that. Yeah.
Someone's going to run around.
It's not going to be me.
Me neither.
Good stuff.
Okay.
All right, the next one is, unless anyone else, unless Chris, you or anyone wants us to add to it, Chris? No? Okay. So the next one is G-force reactions. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up now on...
There's like this on there.
This is actually quite good, because when I was watching... let me just push it live. Here we go. So everyone's up to speed with it. When I saw this, firstly, the stars look amazing, and the trails look fantastic. I'm really excited about having trails in the game to see where people are flying. It's great.
That is an indicator where
when I saw the shaking, originally, they didn't show... I didn't see they didn't show enough of that through the eyes. So if you're being hit, like, I want to know how much that is going to affect when I'm flying, how much it's going to fuck up my view, and you can see it there briefly at the beginning. When you see it shaking, it doesn't look too bad. So I was kind of pleased. It looked much more violent in some of the animations. The head's doing this, and I was a bit like, oh my god, my view is going to be terrible. But it actually looks pretty good.
Subtle, though. I think it looks very good, and I don't think it's going to be very how do you say, intrusive.
No,
I hope not. Yeah. I hope not, because that is one of the things I saw that and I was a little bit worried. It's like there's so many things like that are adding, and I think like my aim is shit as it is. If my head starts wobbling like that as well, and then the heavy breathing that we was talking, going to talk about in a minute, it's like I'm just going to be, I'm going to be able to fucking hit a thing. Yeah, I can't anyway, but yeah, I do hope
it's like a missile explosion, because that would shake it. But yeah, just
every time someone hits you with
fire would be like, Jesus fucking Christ. I hate this game.
It's like, I don't know if anyone had the old style false feedbacks for like steering wheels and stuff for like 20 years ago. I remember a rally game that I had, and like you just do a slight bump, and the force feedback steering wheel will be like
You're flung off the chair, and you're like, whoa!
yeah, it's like the strength in the fucking thing would pull me off like to one direction. So I can imagine that on a ship. And,
what about One Direction?
One Direction.
One Direction.
Oh,
The Basket Boys.
please don't.
I love One Direction.
You are my fire.
Can we remove him from the podcast, please?
Oh my god. All right, guys, have a great evening. That's the end of the show, and we will see you all.
Hosting! We got to host someone!
Okay, so, what else was there? Let's have a look. I'm trying to just find something that's good. No, that's the
Backdoor Boys. Nice one. Yeah. I think
It's the Basket Boys, man. The Fruit Troops.
Oh, I'm just going to add this because this is I thought this was this is just a visual, beautiful thing. So, it's just a reminder of how much I'm looking forward to getting my this little bad boy, the Cutlass.
Yeah, it's gonna be that one's a good shot, man.
you can see Matt Googled that as well. Look at him on his phone.
Yeah.
Trying to pick which one he is.
Oh my goodness me!
I'm Harry.
Okay, just this is my thing. All right, okay.
He's the one without the beard.
The learning curve is going to be interesting because at the moment, I'm curious how fiddly and finicky this startup. Because at the end of the day, it will be fun. This load up sequences and all this button pressing, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. By the 4th time I've seen it, I've done it. I just want to press F5 to get everything going.
It's going to be in there.
Well, there you can.
Which is good.
Just press F5 then.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think that's a good point to make. A lot of people have kind of moaned about the interaction system a little bit before even trying it, but yeah, everything will be bindable on keybind. Sorry. So you can do everything that you're kind of doing now. It's just for those people that don't want to have millions of keybinds. They also said something like it's just there are so many keybinds that it gives you an aid. So I can't remember how to do this. So you can at least look down and still take control of your ship.
I think it's dependable on what you're flying as well. I can imagine that someone like Madness that wants to get in his seat and start shooting shit, he wants a fast startup. Someone like myself that likes transporting might want to RP that in a bit, and it's like, oh, I'll do the startup myself, you know. And in another situation, when I need to fuck off very quickly, I'll use the hotkey, for example. But if I'm taking off from a planet and I'm just chilling, I don't mind pressing those buttons. But it's situational. I think.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Right.
You probably also have the situation where you want to customize your startup sequence. So if you're trying to stealth out somewhere, you don't want to load up all your systems.
Fire everything, yeah.
Very true. Yeah, good point.
Definitely.
No, that's the thing is I'm wondering if they're going to have presets for ships, so we'll be able to preset my favorite kind of loadouts for certain ships, or if it will remember information as well. You know, your favorite.
Yes.
Because that's one of my main kind
It should do.
things is that
you will.
That would be a great thing. Because
you'll be able to preset for certain scenarios. So being completely off the grid, being combat ready, being just enough to sort of I don't know, whatever the ship you've got.
A bit with the stealth button, you know, you can press the stealth button and then it's going to reduce things. Obviously, a competent pilot will know how to. We will have short keys probably already set up to press. Like I have already certain keys on mine, which is to reduce power, to reduce my IR and EM and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's something that I'm already practicing and training for with anticipation for the new flight models.
One thing this cockpit ATV kind of showed to me was that I'm kind of worried that I'm just not going to be good enough. They're making it look so complicated with all these different things.
You're
It's
gonna
like,
practice, man.
I'm just not going to be good enough.
Listen, guys, I'm doing courses. I will do courses for people that have issues.
For horses.
No, that have issues with how do you say confidence. So we're doing some confidence courses, Miss. If you want to sign up for that, for you it's free.
How's that going to help me fly my ship?
And I'm going to help you. Yeah, I'm going to help you fly your ship, and it will help you in regular life as well. You know what I mean? It's just a good overall treat. But look at that. This is a situation. Madness wants to get in. He wants to get out. He wants to start shooting shit. He rams the button. He has 3 different presets: stealth, full on, and I don't know what tropical surprise, and he fires it up. No, I totally agree with man. Is that you don't want to be fucking pressing 20 different buttons to go. But as I said earlier, and what Chris said, there are people that and I think in bigger ships, the startup sequence will probably be a lot more important than in a small fighter. You know what I mean? A small fighter will be started a lot faster than a Idris or a Reclaimer or anything like that.
It depends on the type of game we're going to end up getting as well with Star Citizen, because the truth of the matter is, with this 24 people, with this huge worlds, and like I said, the chance, it's going to be interesting to see how many people you meet, because it could turn into a leisurely type of game, real leisurely, like just jumping. No one's around to shoot me and red.
What is leisurely? What is
leisurely? Like just casual, like gaming. Yeah, I'm not sweating that somebody's going to blow me up every 5 seconds on a pad like I do currently. You know what I mean? It's like
depends if you search for it or not.
It's more based on what Chris said. It's more based on, like, if you get into a ship and you're kind of thinking, well, I don't really want to go all out and just be flight ready. I want to just sort of put my power on so I can start scanning to see if anyone's around. Maybe I'll turn on my shields just in case someone. I've seen someone around in the distance. It's going to be more just, if you know you're safe to just take off, flight ready every time. There's no reason to start going through the processes. Sometimes you might not want to run down your power. It gives you the option should you choose to have the option. An option and choice is what Star Citizen brings to pretty much every area of the game. Having choice in a game is what creates that immersion and creates that feeling like you're in real life rather than in a game, because choice is what we have that is completely free to ourselves. So giving that choice to start up your ship how you please is so important. Not just for the sake of gameplay, but for immersion, obviously.
Ooh, immersion.
I think that's why we've seen on the cockpits where you can open up just the canopy if you want, or you want to just get the ladder out to go up. Like, it's how you want to do it. If you want to take it slow and kind of role play it a bit, you get that option as well.
Definitely.
So I'm just going to, we know the things with the Gladius, and they're setting up the standards and stuff for all the cockpits and stuff. So I'm interested to see what the standards are going to be for the civilian ships and all that stuff as well, to see how they are going to work on. Because at the end of the day, we've all seen the dogfighting ships now full patch after patch after patch. I mean, the Saber, the new implementation of the Saber looks much better. I think they've learned some good lessons from the Gladius and some of the things from the Gladius mistakes that they've made. I think they've improved that. All the new HUDs, I think, apart from the Gladius, in terms of cockpits, seem to be pretty competent and seem to be a big improvement. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing more of the civilian stuff. I'm glad that they're bringing back things like helmet HUDs. It's all about implementing how they interact, that helmet information. For me, it's always about information to you guys. The more information you have without disrupting the view too much, the better people can make decisions. And the reason I say that is Boeing recently has just launched a patent for windowless cockpits, which I think is pretty crazy. So the idea is,
crazy. Imagine a bird flying into your face. You're fucked.
So they can have more information. So it's pretty crazy.
So random. Just imagine birds flying.
Not that type of wind. Not that kind of windowless. I don't mean like there's no window.
Panel flying. We're gonna fly your plane and
there's no glass.
But Madness, coming back on what we said, and we mentioned it last week, what is the commander's seat in a multi-crew ship going to do? And I think the startup sequence is a big part of that. You'll have guys manning the guns, and then the captain can start up, and I think it's cool though for the bigger ships. I think for a single player fighter, obviously, it's like
I don't know. I'd have to. I think it needs to do quite a lot of things, doesn't it? It needs to be able to monitor. It needs to have a good degree of I don't know, what does Picard do? I mean, unless Picard is constantly looking at his things, just playing Tetris.
Power on, shields on,
engage,
engine on.
I don't know what he's checking. I reckon he's checking his WhatsApp or something.
He's checking Snapchat.
Tweets on.
If you ever watch a team of people play Bridge Simulator,
yes, they do this.
Then it's very clear. It's very clear that a captain role is required. Just to coordinate everything.
Yep.
There's so much to ships into that you need to have someone who actually. Yeah. Not only that, but you can have people who are in charge of the whole battlefield, and will have a fleet of ships coordinating. So it's not a case of everyone just fucking shoot the nearest target. It's going to be a case of, right, we need to target certain areas, and you need captains, officials, officers in charge of the whole thing, commanding the crew. Sorry, Chris, I agree completely, but yeah.
Yeah, and a good example of that as well is I can't talk about the actual game itself because I'm in alpha and it's NDA again, but the Sea of Thieves is there's plenty of videos out there. It's a completely different game, but in terms of multi-crew ship, you've got like a pirate ship, and the captain is ordering who raises the sails, who lowers the sails. It's like you take the front one and the back one. There's different cannons on either side to which one you're going to fire at. There's dropping the anchor. The map is actually underneath the ship, so that someone has to be communicating on the map, showing you where to talk to the captain who's steering the ship, which direction to go. So I do think that sort of communication would be awesome to see on a big multi-crew ship, and hopefully, like you said, targeting. They did mention that, or was it last week's ATV, about how the gunners can coordinate who they're shooting at. The captain can give the turret gunners specific people to shoot at as well, and things like that. So I think there's going to be hopefully plenty to do on a multi-crew ship for people.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up unless anyone's got something burning they desperately want to say. I'm going to bring us to questions. We've got 7 questions we can go through real now, quick, and we'll just wrap. We'll blitz through these questions.
I have something burning to say.
Yeah, I love in the hair right now. Yeah.
No, yeah, sorry.
No, honestly, I think
it's like Carrot Top.
Carrot Top 2.0.
Jeez. Wow.
No, glad to have you back, man. It was, it's good to have you back, man. That was my.
The podcast is going on about another hour and a half since I've returned, but yes, carry on. Go on, you're burning thing. Go for it.
No, that was it.
That was it. Oh wow!
So much he was actually giving you a nice compliment for once. You didn't take it serious. It's like, what the fuck? What's your real point, Sol? Come on.
What do you really want to say? What do you want?
I'll mention it.
What do you want? That's what I want to know. Anyone says something nice, they want something.
Yeah. Me and Miz are normally very much on the same line. It's nice to
have an arsehole. I mean,
no, it's good to have that up and down idea, and I like that. It's good. We bounce off each other when it comes to those things. We're very different in opinion, and it's good, man. It's good to have you back.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. It's nice to have an opinion that isn't just based on fanboy. Exactly. I have a fanboy opinion. I need someone who is not a fanboy to sort of make me think
this game sucks.
I think a lot of people think I'm not. I'm a huge fanboy of this game. I've been following it since it began.
Right, whatever. Wait till you play 3.0. Then tell us.
I'm very aware that I might fucking hate this game eventually, but we'll see what happens.
For the people that
questions, come on, let's go, guys. We're running late. This is questions.
Factory.
So we got good questions. There's 2 questions. So the first question.
I got a question.
So first.
Excellent question mark, Sol.
How do I find
I've already done it.
Okay, first question is from Headclot, and he says, "Can you store cargo in your hangar?"
I hope so.
Eventually, you will be able to, but
at the moment, we can't.
I can't say.
I
want to turn mine into a trading hub. You know what I mean? I think as a trader transporter, that would be a really cool thing to do, because you can sell when the demand is high, and
that's a prisoner actually.
You can really play the economy game.
Sorry. Trying to see.
I'm presuming eventually we will, but it's nothing that's been mentioned anywhere. Because the hangars need a lot of overhaul and work. To be honest.
Yeah, they haven't really spoke about hangars, because we're supposed to get our own hangars with different rooms and like armories and so forth. That hasn't been talked about for a long time now, maybe over a year. Maybe because you get working on 3.0.
Maybe
for me, one of the most important things in the game, but I think as we mentioned earlier, not a point to focus on at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I think they have bigger fish to catch at the moment.
I think so. Yes.
Chris, what do you think about cargo?
I think the answer is yes, eventually.
Okay.
Short and snappy.
I think yes. I think they need to do the whole system as well. I think they need to figure out how we're going to have apartments on planets, and we're going to have there's a whole thing they need to figure out. But I don't see why we couldn't. I would imagine you're going to have cargo hangars, and you're going to have.
Yeah, they actually mentioned a while ago that you will be able to. So like if you got some commodities that weren't quite worth much yet, you could hold them and store them in your hangar until they become more worthwhile, and then take them out and trade them. Yeah. But again, like you say, it's not until hangars are ready. But you are going to be able to store things, not just ships, in your hangar when they eventually implement hangars as part of the game,
Wait,
which I'm not.
It's definitely going to come. It's definitely going to come. Do we know when? Well, we'll wait for CIG to give us that one.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, this one's quite an interesting one, actually.
Go for it. You go for it. You read it out.
It's from Matt White Paint Job. I don't know if he's still here. He asked it quite early on. But he says 3.0 is coming, but what do you think will be the big leap for Star Citizen in the long run? Moons, planets, solar systems, or other?
Netcode, yeah.
Definitely netcode.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, netcode.
No, that's the main thing they need to get sorted before it becomes a proper, what they want to talk about. They need to get.
I have a very personal, specific answer.
Go for it.
Linux.
Cockpit.
Ladies.
Linux.
Oh, Linux.
I said ladies. Ladies. I need ladies in this verse.
I first thought Leeds, and I thought he can't mean Leeds.
He must mean ladies.
Linux.
Oh,
Yeah,
Linux.
Linux.
I would love to be able to get rid of my Windows partition on my computer.
I'd love to just get rid of Windows.
Interesting.
I think we all love to get rid of Windows.
Especially some of the updates they keep. Anyway.
I'm torn between the two things. I think for me, the server meshing, if that's going to be the answer, or if it'll be something new that they create, will be the big thing. And also for me, is the AI, the true AI that they need to, subsumption AI and all the complicated animations of and game mechanics that they want to achieve. Things like docking, things like all that stuff that they can. No, docking, not docking.
Okay.
I don't know about you. You can have that if you want in the game, but I'm sure we can make that happen for you
if you're up for it.
Reclaimer dogging. But no, I think that's for me those things. I know it's not one thing, but for me it's like it's the netcode, it's the AI, it's the complicated animations that they have yet to show us. Flying around is all very well, but I really need to see how they're going to make this reclaimer work to do things. There's a lot of ships that I see, and I want to know how they're going to get them to actually do stuff, make them work.
For me, it's them finishing the game.
Yeah, that's the biggest leap. But I think the difficulty is that, especially with this game, is there's so many aspects and the pushing the boundaries of. There's quite a lot of things that you can consider massive leaps in progression, really.
Yeah, it's personal to each person. That's like they're all parts of why people back. To be honest.
Yeah. So it's very good. Next question. Unless anyone wants to say anything else.
Hello.
No. Okay.
Next.
This one is from which one was that? Well, last one was from The Prisoner. Isn't this one from White? Matt,
no.
Paint Job. Again,
we got some technical difficulties.
Everyone for watching. Color, but never mind. So the next question, Miz can read out who it's from. Then, if I'm getting them wrong,
Scrooby-Doo apparently.
When do you think we will see the next bounty hunter dedicated ship or module? Tavarian ship, maybe. That's what he's.
Oh, the Tavarian has returned.
When do you think we'll see the next bounty hunter dedicated ship or module? I think he's saying module. I think it's what he says. Module.
I'm actually quite excited to see Tavaran. I'm quite excited to see more on the bounty hunting, but until CIG start approaching the bounty hunting mechanic, which was that 3.1, 3.2? Do we know?
Well, I think he's got. I'm going to just. You say it and then I'll counter. It's fine.
I think until we start seeing the mechanic being built, we won't see any more vehicles. Likely until that, maybe a ground-based vehicle, because we haven't seen a planet-side bounty hunting vehicle yet, and I know they're working on ground-based vehicles. But yeah, until the mechanic starts getting worked on, we're not likely to see any more advancements in bounty hunting until that happens. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so
that's a good call. Yeah, I agree.
I'll counter slightly in the sense of saying that we have existing ships in the game where mechanics aren't implemented. So there's no reason why CIG couldn't say, hey, this is going to be the new bounty hunting ship. We haven't got any of the mechanics working, but this is the ship we want to do bounty hunting in, and this is what it's going to be. So I don't think that would stop CIG from producing it. We got the Prospector in 3.0 we can't mine yet. So I mean.
Don't you think there's already a lot of ships that we can use for bounty hunting already?
He says modules, and I was just going to say is that I actually think if you imagine like Boba Fett, if I was a bounty hunter, if you can take an existing ship, any ship, and start
The
to
adventure has self.
and start to add things, because ultimately that's kind of what Bounty Hunter does. They take things, they add things, and they adapt their ship to suit them. So for me, it's understanding what ships are going to be modular and be able to have more ability to kind of like mix them up and stuff.
That's what everybody does. That's not just bounty hunting. Why would just bounty hunting take
no,
a
but
ship?
like the bounty hunter modules. So I don't know, like grappling.
You're judging.
hooks.
You're taking everything that Boba Fett has done, and a bounty hunter doesn't have to be an illegal, crazy, psycho. Yeah,
Well,
it could just.
it could be Western as well.
Hunters.
be
Well, bounty hunters are the difference between taking someone dead and alive as well.
No, bounty hunting is basically taking someone who's broken away from court when they're supposed to show up and bringing them in. It's not actually a violent profession. The only reason why it's violent is because people fucking
bloody Django.
I think the Cutlass Blue is going to. Cutlass Blue will be because it's got cages that you can module.
Well,
cages
the Avenger.
The Avenger is classed as a bounty hunter at the moment, right?
The Avenger Stalker is, yes.
The Stalker, yeah.
You have your holding cells. I think it's going to be a career that is more based around capturing people alive than.
I think that's the idea, yeah.
And you are going to hold them up and say, just don't, let's
come on
talk
now.
about this.
Come on.
And then
Come on now.
You're stunned.
Get in the cage.
I'll shoot myself if you don't get in this cage.
I will give you a tropical surprise if you don't hurry up right now.
We've got Sol in the back. The tropical surprise is ready. Get in that cage.
He's free.
Wow! Bring out the soul of the tropical surprise. Get the Pulp Fiction music going. Chris, what do you think? If you can remember, do you want me to read the question? Don't care.
Don't fucking care, do you?
Leave me the fuck alone.
We don't really have any answers. That's why.
Sign up to BritizenCon.
Fuck no.
Give us money.
I'm getting tired.
Oh, okay, no problem. Chris. We'll wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up.
Does anyone think that the BUKS and the Retaliator modules will be in the anniversary sale?
Yes.
What? Sorry.
BUKS.
Fuck.
The
body upgrade kits.
The Retaliator.
And the
Oh,
Retaliator
body
modules. The body
I
upgrade
think-
kits and the Retaliator modules. Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, I would say so. Yep, I think so.
They were before, then they should be.
Yeah, if they're not, they should be. I agree.
Next is a usual when question by Tits McGee.
When does it seem like PTU will be coming? Well, probably another
Soon.
month,
When
maybe
it's
2
months.
months. Another month, maybe 2, if you're lucky.
Head clock.
Yesterday.
Yes. Next question is:
Yesterday.
what are your thoughts on Elon Musk?
He
He's
sounds
also-
like an aftershave, in my
I think he's
opinion.
made. I think
smells
I mean,
good.
he's too
Owner
good
of
for
Tesla.
America. Is all I'm saying. He should be in
Too good
Britain.
for America.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
He wasn't he mentioned on Star Trek
He was
Discovery?
being.
He was mentioned, like, don't you want to be renowned in history as
Elon
Yes.
Musk.
I don't know, someone else, Elon Musk, someone else. So they actually dropped him in there for the lore of Star Trek Discovery. Quite
He's
impressed
doing
by that.
some amazing. He's doing some amazing things, and he's the sort of person that schools and TV shows and more of our scientists and more of the people who are trying to further humankind should be the ones that are on E News rather than the Kardashians and that fucking shit. Honestly,
He should work for CIG.
these people are the ones that should be, in my opinion. My son and stuff. I'll be saying, look, yeah, okay, there's just your footballer and stuff earning $200,000 a week, great, but Elon Musk, he's actually trying to get humans to Mars. So
He's the real star.
he's
Yeah.
the real deal. So yeah, he's a superstar in my opinion.
Question was, what were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Smells nice.
Superstar.
Smells nice.
Good.
Awesome.
Superstar.
And then the last question.
Final question
Go for it.
is: if space whales are officially put in game, should there be a whaling ship dedicated to hunting?
Moby Dick
Yes.
style. Yeah.
There needs to be a balance to it. I think whales should be
so.
living off of gas giant gases. So when you go in your starfare and
You're
you
fine.
start collecting the gases, you think you're quite safe as long as you keep a certain distance from the gas giant. A whale will come up and just go.
You can send an Aurora full with explosives.
You
Missile
could do
fly it.
That would work.
I think we should.
Yeah, yes, the whaling. Exactly.
Yeah, Moby Dick and Yoshi. We could do. It'd be fantastic for streaming as well because people would be able to get in character,
Elon's
get
must.
dressed up, and kind of like pretend to go out whale hunting. I can't wait for Sea of Thieves as well. I'm going to do it's going to be great. Love it. People get dressed up in characters. Be a good laugh for streaming in.
Cool.
Yep.
I think
all
that's
right,
all
then.
the questions. So we're going to wrap it up, folks.
Wrap it up, guys. So, because Chris is tired, I'm tired. I think we're all tired. I think it's a good place to wrap it. It's been wrap it up. Wrap it up. Okay,
Yeah,
then, guys. So,
late.
if you want to very quickly, Chris, tell us what you're going to be up to. Sleeping?
What, during the week?
Yeah, what are you going to do? What's your plan this week? What are you doing?
More work for Britain.
This week, I am mostly going to work.
Okay. So, anything on the radar of this week for BritizenCon?
I'm going to carry on plugging away at doing a better promo video than the one that you saw earlier.
Cool.
We'll show that on the way out.
We'll
maybe
show it
as
on
well.
the way out. Yeah, we'll do another loadout.
Cool. Yep. So hopefully we'll see some updating that. Like I said before, if you see the channel, everybody make sure you give BritizenCon a follow on Twitch because that's where the show will be on the day. Make sure you go to the BritizenCon website and buy a ticket.
Yeah, buy that ticket, guys. You got to do
If
it.
you can't go, make sure you
link.
just donate
There you go.
because we need it.
Thank you, Nexus.
The promo code is active until all
10 people use
10
it.
are
10.
taken.
Yeah.
So that will continue if they're not all taken already for the next few days.
Yeah,
And the promo code is addicted. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep it going and we'll put it out there and we'll get it. It'll be good.
Definitely.
Cool.
And let's carry on, shall we? Mac, what are you doing?
I'm continuing with the lame ass streams of not actually streaming and just playing videos in the background while I
The
talk
Mac
over the
Talk
top.
Show.
But we've got a lot of giveaways. We've currently got a Gladius giveaway going right now. We're going to have an X1 giveaway after that, an X1 Force on Gleam, and then something after that. I don't know what it is. The person who's providing it won't tell me. But also,
Sorry,
we'll be
bastards.
talking... Yeah, fuckers. How dare they? But myself, Gamble, will be talking about this beard shaving thing, depending on whether we get in. I will shave my beard off regardless of whether I get into the casting call or not for CitizenCon. So, yeah, I'll be doing that. If Gamble gets in, he'll shave his beard off. We'll do it together. If not, he'll shave his head off. We'll do it for charity. So pay attention for that one. That will come out soon. Other than that, I'll be doing normal videos and keeping up with the news, basically.
Good shit.
Cool.
Good shit.
And Sol?
I'll be working a lot, playing a
lot of
bit of NBA. Don't expect me streaming this week. I got big project on that is taking a lot of my time at the moment. So hopefully soon I will be jumping on that steaming train again and get going a bit. And because I miss it, it's the daily thing. But it's sometimes you need to make choices in life, and you cannot always do what you love to do. Sometimes you have to do what pays the fucking bills at the end of the day. So
No, real life comes first, mate.
that is the main priority. And I still have the Monday where I chill with all these good guys, and that will be my stream for probably up till the upcoming 2 weeks.
Cool. It's all right. Like you said, real life does have to take priority, unfortunately,
Yes,
at times.
unfortunately, man.
Madness, you want to tell everybody what you're up to?
I
don't know.
will be streaming as and when I can. I mean, obviously, I try to keep to my schedule as much as I possibly can. But my work, designing shoes is a hard life. Coloring in every day.
I colour between lines.
It's really difficult. It takes a lot of my time.
8 by colours.
So no, I will be I'll be streaming most of the week, and I'll be probably learning XSplit more so I can improve. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed as much as I possibly could the show. It was been fairly smooth.
It ran smooth, man.
And also,
like the new
Madness
layouts
is so close to 1,000 followers right now. He's at 913.
13.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
we are close to 1,000 for Madness. So hit that follow button.
Wow,
And
yeah.
let's get to that, because he'll strip.
I will
It'll strip
I will-
1,000 followers.
I'll do something. Stripping
Strip.
might result me only ever hitting 1,000 and never ever being able to get any more than 1,000.
So when you have 1,000 followers, I will send you a boxer short that has an elephant in the front of it where you can put your ding-along in, and you wear that for the whole stream.
Okay, we need to go because
That was extremely specific. That
Yes.
was extremely specific.
I'll be
Jesus, I
taking
decided for
ideas.
this shit.
I'll take some ideas, guys, for the 1,000. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe I'll get a T-shirt made with 1,000. You could be the 1,000th follower, and I'll send it to you or something like that.
Nice.
Get something like that, or I'll send you a pair of custom shoes. How's that sound?
I'm yeah.
Yeah. Game. Get you some shoes with your names.
I'm unfollowing and refollowing for that
shoes
one.
designed by me.
Star
sent
Citizen
to-
shoes. That Star Citizen shoe you designed.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe
Yes.
that-
Can we
that's-
push that through Robert Space
We
Industries
can
Pro?
try. We can
Send
try.
it to Converse.
Yeah.
Miz, because I'm moving on, because Chris was going to collapse. Miz, how are you
yeah.
doing quickly?
Whatever, I don't know.
You got to be...
Streaming, trying to stick to a schedule which I foul at. I'll do some more creative stuff. Probably doing some more Divinity Sin, and then
Cool.
I don't know. Perhaps I'll copy Mac and just sit there and watch a video streaming some Star Citizen.
It's the
Fuck it,
future.
why not? Everybody else is doing it, so
Yes, I think
There
that
we
we
go.
should all do it together. I think we'll all do a parody. I think we'll do.
yeah.
we'll
Let's
do
just
a,
do it.
We'll do a rejected.
Yeah,
We're going to do a
same
rejected. We're going to do a rejected parody.
podcast.
Rejected.
Yeah.
Rejected
The
parody.
rejected podcast. That's a great idea.
And we'll all stand in front of boards videos, talking endless amounts of shit.
Dude, it works. Trust me.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Right.
And on that, just that joshing around, I'm gonna load up. What I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna load up the video. If none of you guys can talk whilst the video goes, once this video BritizenCon finishes, I will host it over to Dr. Drones or to Red Lear, whichever one you guys want to do. I'll host it over to one of those
Cool.
guys, and then we can talk after. But I'm just gonna let it run now live, okay? So you guys.
So make sure you follow all these guys, everybody.
Yep.
Yes,
follow.
and get your
follow
ticket to
BritizenCon.
BritizenCon
Buy your
if you
tickets.
can.
Buy your freaking
Buy
tickets
those
now.
tickets,
Don't
guys.
follow
All
me.
you
Don't follow
Americans on the other
Love
side
you
of the
all.
world, go ahead and buy the ticket. All the British people are asleep.
But,
People
Yeah.
can
yeah.
But yeah, all you guys, come
Most
over
of
and
them
visit
board
us.
game.
We'll all be there. You can come and say hi to us all. Right, I'm
Play the
gonna bust the
Play the
video.
video.
Over. Here comes
Bust
the
that
video,
video.
guys. It's
Bust the
coming
video.
on. Right.
Damn, CIG are fucking awful, aren't they? I mean, Jesus Christ, what on earth are they doing right
You can't just
BritizenCon
mute us, man.
2017 was
now? I
incredible.
hate all the community. They're such wankers. What the fuck is going on right now?
Ah! Ta-da! Ta-da! I gotta mute you lot, you crazy fuckers. Honestly.
They're complete.
Start again. Sorry, guys.
Twice as many people.
Ah, stop it. Sorry again.
BritizenCon 2017 was incredible. Twice as many people attended than 2016. We had twice as many dev panels as 2016, one on design and one on technology, including the legendary Brian Chambers, fantastic prizes in our Arena Commander competition, and much more. But BritizenCon 2018 is going to be even bigger. With more competitions, more competitors, and more prizes. More exhibitors showing off everything from fan-made costumes to the latest peripherals and hardware. A better livestream and a bigger Bar Citizen. With dev panels galore and arcade machines to play. Immerse yourself in Star Citizen for a day. Come to BritizenCon 2018 on Saturday the 21st of April 2018 at the Radisson Blu, Manchester Airport. Follow the links to the BritizenCon website below and reserve your place with tiered and standard tickets available now. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to meet your fellow citizens and the devs making our dreams come true. BritizenCon 2018.
Don't they?
You're all unmuted now. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to
Cheers.
throw the host over. So everyone, we'll see you all
Bye, everybody. See you next week
See you
on
next
a Monday.
week. Have fun. Bye.
What happened there? Was that?
We got unmuted apparently.
Okay.
There we go. It's gone. We're safe. We're safe now.
So, I think a couple of people paid more. Like I think one went 85 and one said they went for the hotel. The guy that was asking about the wife. So if the tickets only work with the lowest tier, people who spend on the highest tier don't get that discount, do they?
No.
Nope.
So hopefully those 5 came from during this